Bakit kailangang magpabakuna? Bakit nga ba vaccination? Ang pandemyang ito ay kumuha ng maraming buhay at patuloy pa nitong nilalagay sa peligro ang buhay ng nakakarami. Pinahina din nito ang ating ekonomiya at maraming Pilipino ang nawalan ng trabaho dahil dito. Sa pagkatuklas ng bakuna laban sa COVID-19, nagkaroon tayo ng oportunidad na malabanan ang pandemyang ito. Sa tulong ng mga bakuna, ay may iwasan natin ang sintomas ng impeksyon at posibleng maiwasan din ang malalang impeksyon at matigilan ang pagkalat nito. Gayunpaman, gaya ng iba pang mga bakunang ginagamit sa nagdaang dekada, ang abilidad nitong protektahan ang ating komunidad ay tataas lamang kung hindi bababa sa 70% ng ating populasyon ay bakunado. Halimbawa, kung ang iyong barangay ay mayroong 100,000 katao, hindi dapat bumaba sa 70,000 ang dapat mabakunahan upang matiyak na proteksyon ang buong komunidad. Kaya ating tandaan, ang pagbabakuna ay hindi lamang para sa iyo o sa iyong pamilya. Ito ay para din sa iyong barangay, lungsod at probinsya. Aling mga bakuna ang gagamitin sa Pilipinas? Sa ngayon, may limitadong supply ng bakuna sa buong mundo. Sa katunayan, halos 80% ng stock sa buong mundo ay nabili na ng mga mayayamang bansa. Dahil dito, walang iisang kumpanya ang maaaring mag-supply ng 110 million na bakuna sa Pilipinas, kaya naman nakikipag-usap ang ating gobyerno sa 7 manufacturers. Sinisiguro natin na ang mga bakuna na to ay makakatanggap ng Emergency Use Authorization at kung may EUA sila, doon lamang sila bibilhin at gagamitin ng ating gobyerno para sa ating vaccination program. Nagbibigay ang EUA ng assurance o katiyakan na ang bakuna ay dumaan sa masusing pagsusuri at nirerekomenda ng mga independent na eksperto sa atin. Hindi mo rin kailangan mag-alala. Ang bakuna laban sa COVID-19 ay hindi magbibigay sa iyo ng COVID na sakit. Magkano ang babayaran ko para mabakunahan? Ibibigay ng gobyerno ang bakuna ng libre. Wala kang dapat bayaran para magpabakuna. Sino ang unang makakapagpabakuna? Dahil kailangan nating masiguradong patuloy na makakapagtrabaho ang ating health system para maalagaan tayo, ang mga medical frontliners ang unang makakatanggap ng bakuna. Susunod dito ay mga eligible na senior citizens dahil sila ay nasa greatest risk ng severe infection o kamatayan. Alam natin ito dahil sa ating lokal na datos na mas mapanganib ang COVID-19 sa mga matatanda. Ang pagkakasunod-sunod na kung sino ang unang makakatanggap ng bakuna ay natukoy sa tulong ng mga eksperto. Kailan at saan ka dapat magpabakuna? Ang inyong national government ay nakikipag-ugnayan sa mga lokal na pamahalaan upang maihatid ang bakuna sa inyo. Ang lokal na pamahalaan or LGU nyo ang maghahanda ng pagpaparehistro at pag-ayos ng schedule ninyo sa pagpapabakuna. Mangyaring abangan ang anunsyo at instructions na magmumula sa inyong mga mayor or governors ukol dito. Ano ang kailangan mo bago magpabakuna? Ang pagdating ng mga bakuna, kumuha lamang ng impormasyon sa mga mapagkakatiwalaang sources. Magtanong lamang sa mga licensed medical professionals ukol sa wastong pagbabakuna para sa COVID-19. Matuto rin tayong mag-verify ng ating mga nababasa o naririnig. Tanging tamang impormasyon lamang ang makakapaggabay sa atin sa ating desisyon na magpabakuna. Ang inyong health history ay mahalaga din sa pagtukoy kung dapat ka bang bakunahan o hindi, kung anong bakuna o angkop sa iyo. Kaya naman, importanteng seryosohin natin ang health screening na ito. Magpakita sa araw ng inyong screening at ideklara ang inyong complete health history, gaya ng allergies o mga risk factors o mga sakit noon. Masusuri ka lamang ng tama ng isang health professional kung ibibigay mo ang mga hinihiling na impormasyon. Kung hindi ka naman sumailalim sa screening, hindi ka maaaring i-book o i-schedule para sa pagpapabakuna. Ano ang kailangang gawin sa araw ng pagbabakuna? Pumunta kayo sa vaccination site kung saan ka nakalista. Huwag kalimutan magsuot ng face mask at face shield. Bago katurukan ng bakuna, kailangan mong pumirma ng isang informed consent. Sa pagpirma ng dokumentong ito, ay pinapatunayan mo na voluntaryo kang magpapabakuna at alam mo ang mga benepisyo at posibleng side effects nito. Huwag ding kalimutan ang mga minimum public health standards habang nasa vaccination site. Katulad lamang nagpag-maintain ng 1 metrong layo sa iba at pagsasanitize ng inyong kamay habang naghihintay. Pagkatapos mong mabakunahan, ay makakatanggap ka ng isang vaccination card at malilista dito kung kailan ka nabakunahan at kung kailan ang iyong susunod na appointment. Mananatili ka muna sa vaccination site ng 1 oras upang obserbahan ka sa mga di pangkaraniwang na sintomas o adverse events. At dahil importante sa amin ang inyong kaligtasan, ay patuloy kang babantayan sa susunod na 1 taon or 12 months. Ano ang dapat gawin pagkatapos magpabakuna? Maaari kang makaranas ng side effects tulad ng sa trangkaso, pero mawawala naman ito dapat pagkatapos ng ilang araw. Huwag mag-alala, senyales to na bumubuo ng proteksyon laban sa sakit ang katawan mo. Karamihan nakakaranas ng lagnat o sakit at normal ito. Kontakin ang iyong healthcare provider kung ang pamumula o pagiging sensitibo ng lugar kung saan ka tinurukan ay lumala pagkatapos ng 24 na oras. At kung nag-aalala ka pa sa iyong mga sintomas o kung hindi sila nawawala pagkatapos ng ilang araw. Importanteng may ulat mo ang mga ito sa health authorities para maaral ng mga eksperto kung konektado nga ba ang mga sintomas mo sa bakuna o hindi. Ayaw naming mag-alala ang publiko ng hindi kinakailangan. Sa mga bakuna na meron tayo ngayon, ay kinakailangan ang 2 turok ng bakuna upang mabigyan ka ng inaasam na proteksyon. Kailangang magpaturok ka pa rin ng pangalawang bakuna kahit nagkaroon ka ng side effects. Maliban na lamang kung pinayuhan ka ng iyong healthcare provider na ipagpaliban ito. Paano ko patuloy na maproprotektahan ang sarili ko at ang aking pamilya? Gaya ng ibang pagbabakuna, nangailangan pa rin ng oras para sa iyong katawan na bumuo ng proteksyon sa COVID-19. Pero tandaan, ang pagbabakuna ay isa lamang sa maraming mga solusyon laban sa pandemya. Kailangan pa rin natin magpatuloy sa pagsuot ng mga face mask, pagsunod sa 1 meter physical distancing, pag-iwas sa mga kumpulan, at madalas na paghugas ng kamay upang maprotektahan ang inyong sarili at ang inyong pamilya. Paano natin masisiguro na ang ibabakuna sa atin ay tunay at mabisa? Ang mga bakuna ay biological products at sensitibo ang mga ito. Maari lang itong magbigay ng proteksyon sa atin kung sila ay authentic o galing sa totoong manufacturer at kung sila ay naita-transport o nahahatid mula factory hanggang vaccination site sa tamang temperatura. Hindi pwedeng masyadong mainit o masyadong malamig. Kung hindi, pwedeng masira ang bakuna at hindi na ito magiging epektibo. Bagkus, pwede pa itong makasama sa ating kalusugan. Kaya naman, siguraduhin natin na ang bakunang iyong matatanggap ay nagmula sa lehitimong manufacturers at naihatid sa tamang temperatura.
Tara, sa Vida Vaccination!
Bakit kailangang magpabakuna?
Handa na ako!
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 Handa na ako! Handa na ako!
Handa na ako! Handa na ako!
Handa na ako!
Handa na ako!
Handa na ako!
Handa na sila! Handa na kami! May bakuna na! Handa ka na ba? Handa na kami!
Huwag nang pahuli, halin at makisala sa Vida Vaccination kontra COVID-19. Together, we rise as one.
May dagdag na paraan laban sa COVID-19. Together, we can be the Solusyon Plus. Bida Plus sa maayos na daloy ng hangin. Bida Plus sa maikling pisikal na interaksyon. Bida Plus sa pagsuporta sa bakuna. Bida Plus sa mga kwento ng kaligtasan sa Bida Barangay. Sa dagdag na pag-iingat, maraming buhay ang maliligtas. Bida Solusyon Plus laban sa COVID-19. Tuloy po tayo sa Bida Barangay.
Hello mga ka-partner, protektahan ng ating loved ones. Alam niyo ba na maraming critical cases ng COVID-19 ay may NCDs o non-communicable diseases tulad ng hypertension, asthma, diabetes, at kidney disease. Kaya kailangan natin ng healthy lifestyle para mapigilan ang pag-develop nito. Kumain tayo ng masustansyang pagkain at magkaroon ng balanced diet. Iwas bisyo na rin. Dagdagan natin ng physical activities para lahat tayo masigla. Love your life para ligtas tayo sa kontrabida.
Ang nagkakaisang barangay, ligtas at healthy ang buhay. Bida Solusyon Plus laban sa COVID-19.
Kamusta mga mahal na mahal kong mga kabarangay at mga inlove, ha? Kamusta naman po ang inyong Valentine's Day? Hinay-hinay lang kayo dyan, ha? Lalo na yung mga diabetic. At sa mga naghahabol naman sa kanilang mga manliligaw, kuya, hinay-hinay lang at makahikain ka. At kapag umibig ngayong pandemic, aba dapat, dapat safe. Kaya kailangan may physical distancing, ha? Ayan.
Alam mo to si Kap? Single eh. Bitter!
Tuloy po tayo sa Bida Barangay.
Wow naman, Aling Nena, ayaw pakabog na yung Valentine's.
Naghihintay pa ba naman ako? Pwes kung ayaw nilang lumapit, ako ang lalapit sa kanila.
Bongga ka dyan, Aling Nena. Sana all, malakas ang loob.
Naman!
Pabili nga ho ng 3 roses.
May boyfriend ka na, Maymay? Bakit di ka magbibigay ng bulaklak?
Ay naku, hindi ho. Para ho yun kay Lola Ason.
Naku, ang bait mo namang apo.
Kasi tuwing Valentine's Day, sumasakit ho kasi yung puso ng lola ko. Biruin nyo, 10 years na hong nasa langit yung lolo ko. Pero kung mamiss yun ng lola ko, naku, parang nandito pa rin siya. Kaya ayun, nagmumukmuk siya. Naisipan kong bigyan ng bulaklak.
Ito.
Thank you po. Excuse me ha.
Ano ka mo? Si Aling Ason? May sakit sa puso? Kawawa naman!
Aling Nena, isa nga bouquet ng flower dyan. So-surprise ka lang si Mister.
Taray, napaka naman Marites, pa-under ko.
Diba? Ganda talaga nang papa-andar tayo. Ito po, Aling Nena.
Ito na. Narinig mo na ba yung chika?
Ano yan? Anong kasabog yan? Interesado ako dyan.
Sasabog ang puso mo sa pagka-juicy.
Juicy?
Ito na nga, Si Aling Ason.
Ano si Aling Ason?
Yung sakit sa puso, malala na. 2 years na daw, ganun. Kawawa naman.
Ano ba? Sandali, aga buhay na ba? Ay, naku, Diyos ko, kaya pala bumili si Maymay ng bulaklak. Diyos ko, nakita ko.
Ayan na nga, Mars. Oh, ay nako. Nag-aalala nga ako eh. Pero ito nga, sa atin na lang. Wala nang makakalabas ha.
Na problema sa isipin ng mga tao, chismosa ka.
Oo, concern lang naman tayo.
Sa atin lang to. Hello? Mari? Naku, Mari. Alam mo si Manang Asun pala, malala na sa...
Kasama ba yun?
Hoy, Marites! Ano yung chinichismis mo na malapit na akong mamatay?
Naku, na ganun, Mars. Yung apo mo nga ang nagsabi na may sakit ka sa puso.
Nako, Marites, kumukulo ang dugo ko sa'yo at itinawag mo pa sa kabarangay, ha?
Naku, Mars. Kalma ka lang. Naku, ang BP mo baka tumaas yan, ha? Masama yan sa'yo.
Ay! Physical distancing, ha? Physical distancing. Oh, hindi lumalabas yung masamang hangin dito, eh. Kailangan tuloy-tuloy ang pasok ng hangin. Maglayo-layo nga kayo.
Naku, Kap, mas masama pa ang hangin kasi ng chismis na kaya na may sakit ako sa puso!
Manang Ason, totoo po bang may sakit kayo sa puso?
Ayun naman pala, totoo naman pala ang chismis.
Valentine's, ano ka ba naman? Valentine's na Valentine's. Dapat nagmamahalan tayo. Hindi chismis ang inaatupag mo.
Oo nga! Sorry na po, kasi nag-aalala lang naman ako sa Manang Asun, delikado yan.
Alam mo, delikado naman talagang lumabas si Manang Ason ngayon may pandemya. Ang sabi nga niya sa clinic, delikado raw tamaan ng COVID-19 ang mga taong may non-communicable diseases o NCDs.
NCDs? Paano ano ba yung NCD na yan?
Ang mga halimbawa ng non-communicable diseases ay ang mga cardiovascular diseases tulad ng hypertension. Hello! Respiratory diseases tulad ng asthma o hika. Pati na rin ang diabetes at kidney disease. Alam mo ba, marami sa mga critical case ng COVID ang may mga ganyang sakit. Kaya dapat doble ingat talaga.
Ate! Excuse me, sino ka ba? Bakit ka nangangamot dito sa barangay namin? Ha?
Sorry po. Nurse po ako. Hindi ko po kayo tinatakot. Pinag-iingat lang. Salamat po, Aling Nena.
Oh, mga kabarangay, narinig na ninyo, ha? Delikado talaga yung may mga karamdamang tulad mo kay Mama Son.
Ay naku, si Nanay Ason, gusto pa po namin makasama ng matagal. Ano po ba ang dapat gawin kapag mayroong NCD?
Bago pa man magkasakit, siguraduhin ng healthy ang diet at parating mag-exercise. Para naman sa mga meron na, makatulong ang diet at exercise para ma-maintain ang kalusugan o mabalik sa normal ang kalagayan.
Iho, sino ka ba, ha?
Ay, sorry po. Nurse rin po ako. Nakapang-Zoom kasal lang po ako. Nadaanan ko kasi nagkakagulo rito eh. At yan, yung paninigarilyo at iba pang bisyo, delikado yan. Makakabuti kung magdadagdag kayo ng mga physical activities tulad ng paglalakad o mga gawaing bahay para maging aktibo ang katawan. Paminsan-minsan maganda rin na nag-exercise.
Ako, salamat, Iho, ha? Yan ang hindi chismis na dapat ikalat.
Mga mahal kong kabarangay! Ngayong araw ng mga puso, bida ang ating love life. Kumbaga, pagmamahal sa ating life. Kaya dapat, healthy ang lahat. Music! Happy Valentine's, Manang Ason!
Maraming salamat ka!
Ako, bigay po yan ng ating barangay. Hindi lang po yan pampahappy, pangpahaba rin ang buhay.
Hello mga ka-partner! Protektahan ng ating loved ones. Alam niyo ba na maraming critical cases ng COVID-19 ay may NCDs o non-communicable diseases tulad ng hypertension, asthma, diabetes, at kidney disease. Kaya kailangan natin ng healthy lifestyle para mapigilan ang pag-develop nito. Kumain tayo ng masustansyang pagkain at magkaroon ng balanced diet. Iwas bisyo na rin. Dagdagan natin ang physical activities para lahat tayo masigla. Love your life para ligtas tayo sa kontrabida.
Ang nagkakaisang barangay, ligtas at healthy ang buhay. Bida Solusyon Plus laban sa COVID-19.
Be courageous. Be strong.
Bakit kailangang magpabakuna? Bakit nga ba? Vaccination. Ang pandemyang ito ay kumuha ng maraming buhay at patuloy pa nitong nilalagay sa peligro ang buhay ng nakakarami. Pinahina din nito ang ating ekonomiya at maraming Pilipino ang nawalan ng trabaho dahil dito. Sa pagkatuklas ng bakuna laban sa COVID-19, nagkaroon tayo ng oportunidad na malabanan ang pandemyang ito. Sa tulong ng mga bakuna, ay may iwasan natin ang sintomas ng impeksyon at posibleng maiwasan din ang malalang impeksyon at matigilan ang pagkalat nito. Gayunpaman, gaya ng iba pang mga bakunang ginagamit sa nagdaang dekada, ang abilidad nitong protektahan ang ating komunidad ay tataas lamang kung hindi bababa sa 70% ng ating populasyon ay bakunado. Halimbawa, kung ang iyong barangay ay mayroong 100,000 katao, hindi dapat bumaba sa 70,000 ang dapat mabakunahan upang matiyak na proteksyon ang buong komunidad. Kaya ating tandaan, ang pagbabakuna ay hindi lamang para sa iyo o sa iyong pamilya. Ito ay para din sa iyong barangay, lungsod at probinsya. Aling mga bakuna ang gagamitin sa Pilipinas? Sa ngayon, may limitadong supply ng bakuna sa buong mundo. Sa katunayan, halos 80% ng stock sa buong mundo ay nabili na ng mga mayayamang bansa. Dahil dito, walang iisang kumpanya ang maaaring mag-supply ng 110 million na bakuna sa Pilipinas, kaya naman nakikipag-usap ang ating gobyerno sa 7 manufacturers. Sinisiguro natin na ang mga bakuna na to ay makakatanggap ng Emergency Use Authorization at kung may EUA sila, doon lamang sila bibilhin at gagamitin ng ating gobyerno para sa ating vaccination program. Nagbibigay ang EUA ng assurance o katiyakan na ang bakuna ay dumaan sa masusing pagsusuri at nire-rekomenda ng mga independent na eksperto sa atin. Hindi mo rin kailangan mag-alala. Ang bakuna laban sa COVID-19 ay hindi magbibigay sa iyo ng COVID na sakit. Magkano ang babayaran ko para mabakunahan? Ibibigay ng gobyerno ang bakuna ng libre. Wala kang dapat bayaran para magpabakuna. Sino ang unang makakapagpabakuna? Dahil kailangan nating masiguradong patuloy na makakapagtrabaho ang ating health system para maalagaan tayo, ang mga medical frontliners ang unang makakatanggap ng bakuna. Susunod dito ay mga eligible na senior citizens. Sila ay nasa greatest risk ng severe infection o kamatayan. Natin ito dahil sa ating lokal na datos na mas mapanganib ang COVID-19 sa mga matatanda. Ang pagkakasunod-sunod na kung sino ang unang makakatanggap ng bakuna ay natukoy sa tulong ng mga eksperto. Kailan at saan ka dapat magpabakuna? Ang inyong national government ay nakikipag-ugnayan sa mga lokal na pamahalaan upang maihatid ang bakuna sa inyo. Ang lokal na pamahalaan or LGU nyo ang maghahanda ng pagpaparehistro at pag-ayos ng schedule ninyo sa pagpapabakuna. Mangyaring abangan ang anunsyo at instructions na magmumula sa inyong mga mayor or governors ukol dito. Ano ang kailangan mo bago magpabakuna? Habang hinihintay natin ang pagdating ng mga bakuna, kumuha lamang ng impormasyon sa mga mapagkakatiwalaang sources. Magtanong lamang sa mga licensed medical professionals ukol sa wastong pagbabakuna para sa COVID-19. Matuto rin tayong mag-verify ng ating mga nababasa o naririnig. Tanging tamang impormasyon lamang ang makakapaggabay sa atin sa ating desisyon na magpabakuna. Ang inyong health history ay mahalaga din sa pagtukoy kung dapat ka bang bakunahan o hindi, kung anong bakuna o angkop sa iyo. Kaya naman, importanteng seryosohin natin ang health screening na ito. Magpakita sa araw ng inyong screening at ideklara ang inyong complete health history, gaya ng allergies o mga risk factors o mga sakit noon. Masusuri ka lamang ng tama ng isang health professional kung ibibigay mo ang mga hinihiling na impormasyon. Kung hindi ka naman sumailalim sa screening, hindi ka maaaring i-book o i-schedule para sa pagpapabakuna. Ano ang kailangang gawin sa araw ng pagbabakuna? Pumunta kayo sa vaccination site kung saan ka nakalista. Huwag kalimutan magsuot ng face mask at face shield. Bago ka turukan ng bakuna, kailangan mong pumirma ng isang informed consent. Sa pagpirma ng dokumentong ito, ay pinapatunayan mo na voluntaryo kang magpapabakuna at alam mo ang mga benepisyo at posibleng side effects nito. Huwag ding kalimutan ang mga minimum public health standards habang nasa vaccination site. Katulad lamang ng pag-maintain ng 1 metrong layo sa iba at pagsasanitize ng inyong kamay habang naghihintay. Pagkatapos mong mabakunahan, ay makakatanggap ka ng isang vaccination card at malilista dito kung kailan ka nabakunahan at kung kailan ang iyong susunod na appointment. Mananatili ka muna sa vaccination site ng 1 oras upang obserbahan ka sa mga di pangkaraniwang na sintomas o adverse events. At dahil importante sa amin ang inyong kaligtasan, ay patuloy kang babantayan sa susunod na 1 taon or 12 months. Ano ang dapat gawin pagkatapos magpabakuna? Maaari kang makaranas ng side effects tulad ng sa trangkaso, pero mawawala naman ito dapat pagkatapos ng ilang araw. Huwag mag-alala, senyales to na bumubuo ng proteksyon laban sa sakit ang katawan mo. Karamihan, nakakaranas ng lagnat o sakit at normal ito. Kontakin ang iyong healthcare provider kung ang pamumula o pagiging sensitibo ng lugar kung saan ka tinurukan ay lumala pagkatapos ng 24 na oras. At kung nag-aalala ka pa sa iyong mga sintomas o kung hindi sila nawawala pagkatapos ng ilang araw. Importanteng may ulat mo ang mga ito sa health authorities para maaral ng mga eksperto kung konektado nga ba ang mga sintomas mo sa bakuna o hindi. Ayaw naming mag-alala ang publiko ng hindi kinakailangan. Sa mga bakuna na meron tayo ngayon, ay kinakailangan ang 2 turok ng bakuna upang mabigyan ka ng inaasam na proteksyon. Kailangang magpaturok ka pa rin ng pangalawang bakuna kahit nagkaroon ka ng side effects. Maliban na lamang kung pinayuhan ka ng iyong healthcare provider na ipagpaliban ito. Paano ko patuloy na maproprotektahan ang sarili ko at ang aking pamilya? Gaya ng ibang pagbabakuna, nangailangan pa rin ng oras para sa iyong katawan na bumuo ng proteksyon sa COVID-19. Pero tandaan, ang pagbabakuna ay isa lamang sa maraming mga solusyon laban sa pandemya. Kailangan pa rin natin magpatuloy sa pagsuot ng mga face mask, pagsunod sa 1 meter physical distancing, pag-iwas sa mga kumpulan, at madalas na paghugas ng kamay upang maprotektahan ang inyong sarili at ang inyong pamilya. Paano natin masisiguro na ang ibabakuna sa atin ay tunay at mabisa? Ang mga bakuna ay biological products at sensitibo ang mga ito. Maari lang itong magbigay ng proteksyon sa atin kung sila ay authentic o galing sa totoong manufacturer at kung sila ay naita-transport o nahahatid mula factory hanggang vaccination site sa tamang temperatura. Hindi pwedeng masyadong mainit o masyadong malamig. Kung hindi, pwedeng masira ang bakuna at hindi na ito magiging epektibo. Bagkus, pwede pa itong makasama sa ating kalusugan. Kaya naman, siguraduhin natin na ang bakunang iyong matatanggap ay nagmula sa lehitimong manufacturers at naihatid sa tamang temperatura.
Tara, sa Vida Vaccination.
Handa na ako.
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 Handa na ako. Handa na ako.
Handa na ako. Handa na ako.
Handa na ako.
Handa na ako!
Handa na ako.
Handa na sila. Handa na kami. May bakuna na. Handa ka na ba?
Huwag nang mahuli. Halina't makisala sa Vida Vaccination kontra COVID-19. Together, we rise as one.
May dagdag na paraan laban sa COVID-19. Together, we can be the Solution Plus. Bida Plus sa maayos na daloy ng hangin. Bida Plus sa maikling pisikal na interaksyon. Bida Plus sa pagsuporta sa bakuna. Bida Plus sa mga kwento ng kaligtasan sa Bida Barangay. Sa dagdag na pag-iingat, maraming buhay ang maliligtas. Bida Solusyon Plus laban sa COVID-19. Tuloy po tayo sa Bida Barangay.
Hello mga ka-partner! Protektahan ang ating loved ones. Alam nyo ba na maraming critical cases ng COVID-19 ay may NCDs o non-communicable diseases tulad ng hypertension, asthma, diabetes, at kidney disease. Kaya kailangan natin ng healthy lifestyle para mapigilan ang pag-develop nito. Kumain tayo ng masustansyang pagkain at magkaroon ng balanced diet. Iwas bisyo na rin. Dagdagan natin ang physical activities para lahat tayo masigla. Love your life para ligtas tayo sa Contra Vida.
Ang nagkakaisang barangay, ligtas at healthy ang buhay. Bida Solusyon Plus laban sa COVID-19.
Kamusta mga mahal na mahal ng mga kabarangay at mga inlove na inlove, ha? Kamusta naman po ang inyong Valentine's Day? Hinay-hinay lang kayo dyan, ha? Lalo na yung mga diabetic. At sa mga naghahabol naman sa kanila mga manliligaw, kuya, hinay-hinay lang at makahikain ka. At kapag umibig ngayong pandemic, ba dapat? Dapat safe, kaya kailangan may physical distancing, ha? Ayan!
Alam mo to si Kap? Single eh. Bitter!
Tuloy po tayo sa Bida Barangay.
Wow naman, Aling Nena, ayaw pakabog na yung Valentine's.
Naghihintay pa ba naman ako? Pwes kung ayaw nilang lumapit, ako ang lalapit sa kanila.
Bongga ka dyan, Aling Nena. Sana all, malakas ang loob.
Naman!
Pabili nga ho ng 3 roses.
May boyfriend ka na, Maymay? Bakit di ka magbibigay ng bulaklak?
Ay, naku, hindi ho. Para ho yun kay Lola Ason.
Naku, ang bait mo namang apo.
Kasi tuwing Valentine's Day, sumasakit ho kasi yung puso ng lola ko. Biruin nyo, 10 years na hong nasa langit yung lolo ko. Pero kung mamiss yun ng lola ko, naku pa.
A pleasant and wonderful Saturday morning, everyone. Before we start our activity for today, may I invite everyone to stand up for our opening prayer to be followed by the Philippine National Anthem.
Our Father in heaven, we come to you asking for your blessing as we begin this day. As we gather here this morning, we pray for guidance and support for this activity. Fill us with your grace and help us learn and understand our work with a spirit of joy. Give our hearts the desire to discover things that would help us grow and be the best we can be. We are praying this in your holy name. Amen.
Nakamute ka, Christian.
Again, good morning and welcome to the meeting on the preparation for the pilot VaxCert rollout in Regions 3, 4A, Metro Cebu, and Davao City. And before we proceed, ano nga po ba ang VaxCertPH? Yang katanungan pong yan ay masasagutan at madadagdagan ng impormasyon mamaya po sa discussion po na magaganap dito sa ating meeting for today. And for now, to acknowledge our participants and guests, may I call on LGUs 3, Ms. Ethel May Paredes.
Good morning to all of us. A pleasant day po to our Undersecretary for Plans, Public Affairs and Communication, Yusek Jonathan Imalaya. Good morning po. Allow me to acknowledge our participants coming from the 4 contingent regions joining us for this activity today. Let us start with our participants coming from Region 3 Central Luzon. Pinangungunahan po ng ating OIC Regional Director of DILG 3, Regional Director J. Timbreza. Good morning po, RD. Kasama po si Provincial Director of DILG Aurora, Attorney Ofelio A. Taktak. We also have with us the Provincial Director of DILG Bataan, PD Mayra Moral Soriano. Good morning po. We also have Provincial Director Darwin David of DILG Bulacan, Provincial Director Renato Bernardino of DILG Nueva Ecija, Provincial Director of DILG Tarlac, Provincial Director Belina Tiherman. We also have Provincial Director Army Bactad of DILG Zambales, City Director of Angeles City, CD Martin Porres Moral, and of course, we also have the City Director of DILG Olongapo City. We have Ma'am Amada Dumagat. Joining our DILG team from Region 3, we also have DICT OIC Regional Director for Luzon Cluster, covering the areas of Region 3 and Region 4A Calabarzon, no less than Regional Director Engineer Reynaldo C. Good morning po for our participants in Region 7 naman po, pinangungunahan ng ating Regional Director, RD Lucado Trovella. Good morning, RD. Together with our Assistant Regional Director for DILG Region 7, Ma'am Loicelia Lucino. Nandito rin po ang ating Provincial Director for DILG Cebu Province. We have Ma'am Joadan Lucero. Good morning po, PD. Also, we have with us City Director of DILG Cebu City, ang aming idol, Attorney Ian Kenneth B. Lucero. Isa pa pong idol, Acting City Director of DILG Mandaue City, PD John Joan Mende. Good morning po. And also we have our City Director for DILG Lapu-Lapu City, CD Jonah Pino. Kasama din po natin ang ating DICT OIC Regional Director for Visayas Cluster 2, Regional Director Frederick D.C. Amores. Good morning po for our participants sa Region 7. And now, for Region 11 po, we would like to acknowledge the presence of Regional Director of DILG Region 11, RD Alex C. Roldan, together with our Assistant Regional Director, Abdullah V. Matalam, and our City Director for Davao City, CD Vicky Sarcena. Nandito rin po kasama natin ang DICT Regional Director for Mindanao Cluster 3, no less than RD Alimzar Asum. And syempre, ang ating host region for today, pinangungunahan po ng ating very hardworking Regional Director, RD Ariel O. Iglesia. Good morning, RD. Together with our Assistant Regional Director of DILG 4A, ARD Noel Bartolabak. Kasama din po natin ngayon ang ating masisipag na mga provincial directors, starting off with our Provincial Director of DILG Batangas, PD Abigail Andres. We also have with us Provincial Director Lionel Delope of DILG Cavite, our Provincial Director in DILG Laguna, Engineer John Cerezo, our Provincial Director in DILG Rizal, Sir Alan Benitez, Provincial Director Daryl Dizon of DILG Quezon, and of course, City Director Danilo Nobleza of DILG Lucena City. We also have with us PD Mervy Fabia of Pampanga, DILG Pampanga. Good morning, ma'am. Lastly and most importantly, kasama po natin sa ating activity for today, our cluster heads from these 4 regions. Of course, ang ating city and municipal local government operations officers, our DILG field personnel, the VaxCertPH coordinators from our LGUs, all of our guests viewing us from our FB Live sa pamamagitan po ng ating DILG official Facebook page. So, welcome po sa ating meeting on the preparation for the pilot VaxCertPH rollout. That would be all for our acknowledgement of participants. Over to you, Christian. Maraming salamat.
Yan, thank you, Ms. Ethel, for the acknowledgement. And now to give his opening remarks. He is a public servant, an entrepreneur, a writer, best-selling author. In a career in public service spanning 22 years, he has served in all 3 branches of the Philippine government. In the executive branch, he was Assistant Secretary, Chief of Staff, and spokesperson of Department of Education, Chief of Staff of the Office of the Solicitor General, and Assistant Secretary in Office of the Chief Presidential Legal Counsel, Malacanang. In the legislature, he was Director 2 in the Philippine Senate, supervising legislative staff officer in the House of Representatives. And in the judiciary, he was judicial staff head to Supreme Court Justice Antonio Eduardo Nachura. He has written and edited 5 books, including a book of presidential inaugurals entitled Stewards of the Nation, Inaugural Vision from Aguinaldo to Duterte, which reached number 8 in Power Books bestsellers list. He also released Federalism 101, a primer and the Quest for the Federal Republic, 2 books on the basic principles and the prospect of federalism in the country. In his heart, he always been an educator. He taught English literature, political science, and public speaking at the Polytechnic University of the Philippines and at Assumption College, Manila. and a product of University of the Philippines, Diliman. He was a founding member and president of the UP Debate Society and captain of the UP debating team. He is currently the Undersecretary for Plans, Public Affairs and Communications and official spokesperson of Department of the Interior and Local Government. He is also chair of the Task Group on Governance, Sub-Task Group on Research Communication, and members of the Vaccine Cluster and the Vaccine Cluster National Task Force COVID-19. Please welcome Undersecretary for Plans, Public Affairs and Communication, Yusek Jonathan E. Malaya.
Maraming salamat, Christian, and thank you very much for that very generous introduction. Magandang umaga po sa inyong lahat. Alam ko Sabado ngayon, but I am so glad that we are all here because this is such an important meeting, especially on such an important project. No? Pero simulan ko po by thanking DILG Region 4A for organizing this webinar or meeting on the rollout of VaxCert Philippines in Regions 4A, Regions 3, Metro Cebu, and Metro Davao. And I'd like to acknowledge, of course, our very energetic and hardworking Regional Director, RD Ariel Iglesia of DILG Region 4. RD, magandang umaga sa iyo.
Morning, sir. Morning.
Thank you. And to RDJ Timbresa of Region 3, maraming salamat din po for joining us in today's meeting. I'd also like to acknowledge all of the assistant regional directors, provincial directors, city directors, city and municipal local government operations officers, and most especially our LGU VaxCert Philippine coordinators in Regions 4A, Regions 3, Davao City, and Metro Cebu. Sana wala tayong absent, no? Kasi mahirap yung mga meetings na may mga nawawala. No? I hope that you are all here, especially the LGU VaxCert coordinators. Kung wala po sila sa ating mga MLGOs, baka you can follow up with them, tawagan, no? Because this is a very important meeting. Baka makahabol pa sila, no? And of course, I'd also like to acknowledge our colleagues from the Department of Information and Communication Technology, who is the lead agency in this project. I don't know if our friends from the central office are here, sila Director City Alawi, no? But I'd like to acknowledge Engineer Reynaldo C, the Regional Director of DICT Luzon Cluster 2, Director Frederick Amores, DICT Visayas Cluster 2, and Director Alibsar Asum, Regional Director DICT Mindanao Cluster 3. At sa lahat po ng mga kasama natin sa DICT na nandito ngayon sa umagang ito. So let me just give the context for VaxCert Philippines. So, alam naman po natin na may mga LGU vaccination cards na ini-issue na ang ating mga kasamahan sa LGU. So, these are valid documents. Now, on the face of it, wala pong problema. And the LGUs should continue issuing them. Wala pong problema. No? But there are worldwide commitments that we have with the World Health Organization. At meron din pong nakalagay sa Vaccination Act. And nakalagay po sa Vaccination Act that the DICT, together with the Department of Health and other government agencies, must establish a digital vaccination certificate. So ito pong digital vaccination certificate natin ngayon, ito po ang pag-uusapan natin ngayon sa meeting. And it has already been developed by the DICT, and it is now on soft launch here in Metro Manila. Pero dito po sa Metro Manila, yung ating soft launch ay linimit muna natin sa mga OFWs who have trips abroad and travelers who have trips abroad. The reason why sinoft launch lang muna natin siya i-pilot ay para malaman natin kung kakayanin ng sistema at ano yung mga problemang makikita natin. And the lessons that we will get from that experience, no, ay yan ang gagamitin po natin para ma-improve yung rollout natin across the country. So, it is now currently on soft launch here in Metro Manila, limited lang. Pero may mga kababayan tayo kahit hindi sila OFW, they try to log on, no? So, nakikita natin ngayon yung problema and how we can improve. And our intent is kung ano man yung mga improvements we can do, we should implement that as we slowly roll out across the country. And the first regions where we will roll this out is Regions 3, Regions 4A, Metro Cebu, and Metro Davao. Okay. So, siguro ang tanong nyo, Sir, kailan yun roll out? Yan ang pag-uusapan natin ngayon. Okay? We will have to assess how ready are you to undertake the rollout. I'm sure mamaya yung mga kasamahan natin sa DICT will consult you. So it's going to be a consultative process. The DICT will give us a checklist of the LGU readiness for the project. And then mag-usap-usap tayo kung kailan natin to pwedeng i-roll out. Okay, so there are 3 important things. No? Mamaya ihimay-himayin ito ng DICT, but on my end, on our end sa DILG, for the DILG officials who are here, very crucial na lahat ng mga nabakunahan yung masubmit yung line list within 24 hours from vaccination. No, that's really non-negotiable. So, kung hindi pa po ginagawa niyang inyong LGU yan, you must find a way to get that done. Okay, that is the standard. 24 hours after vaccination, kailangan na upload yung mga pangalan. Pangalawa, kailangan mag-conform sa DICT regulations yung encoding. Marami po tayong errors dahil mali ang encoding sa line list. Mamaya, iisa-isahin ng DICT yan. Okay? Kung ano yung mga errors na nakikita nila. Kasi kung may error po yung pag-encode natin sa line list, ang lalabas, no record found, or may problema, hindi ma-degenerate yung digital VaxCert. Yung digital VaxCert po ay pwedeng PDF, pwedeng i-download sa cellphone, pwedeng i-print sa papel, and that is valid. Okay? At merong mga security features po yan. Now, magagamit din natin yan even for local travel. Hindi lang po yan magagamit sa foreign travel, pwedeng gamitin sa local travel, pwedeng ipakita sa mga checkpoints. Ang dami pong gamit. Okay? Since we intend to vaccinate 80% of our population, because of the COVID-19 pandemic, practically lahat ng Pilipino ay magkakaroon nitong VaxCert na ito. So, para mas madali ang buhay ng ating mga kababayan, dinevelop natin itong digital certificate na ito. So this is very important, this is very crucial, and kailangan po sa LGU level pa lang, excuse me, maliwanag na kung ano yung responsibilidad natin. Now, let me also emphasize, as a final point, the data of the vaccinees is not owned by the DICT. The data of the vaccinees is owned by the LGU. Okay? So, hindi po pwedeng pakialaman ng DICT yung datos ng inyong mga nabakunahan sa inyong lugar. That is a very crucial point. And the only office that can correct the errors is the local government unit. Why? Because it's the LGU that did the vaccination in the first place. So it is the LGU that knows the circumstances behind the vaccination. It knows the dates of the first dose. It knows the dates of the second dose, whether it's Sinovac, Pfizer, AstraZeneca. And you know your constituents more than anyone. Anong pangalan nila, anong middle name nila, anong birth date nila, ano yung kanilang address. Therefore, we cannot expect the DICT to do the corrections for us. Kasi pag ginawa po natin yan, masisira yung datos ng LGU. So, kung merong error, it now becomes the responsibility of the LGU to correct the error that was made. Okay, so lumalabas po dito sa pilot natin sa Maynila, ang daming error sa ibang lugar. At pag rectification na nung error, nagbubuhol-buhol na sa mga local government units. So it's very important na ngayon pa lang, sa lahat ng LGU nakikinig at sa VaxCert coordinators at sa mga DILG officials, let's expect errors. Kasi given na yan wala namang perfect system. Errors in the data. Yung in-encode may mali. How do we rectify that? Ipapaliwanag mamaya ng DICT. But we must dedicate people who will make the corrections. Kasi kung wala po tayong mga taong naka-assign, hindi natin na-monitor kung ano, ang dami pong magre-reklamo, baka mag-viral na naman yan. And it will reflect badly on our local government unit. And alam niyo naman sa panahon ngayon, it's political season, any failure on the part of government is used by the critics to discredit government. Okay, so it will be used to discredit the national government, but most importantly, it will be used to discredit your local government unit. Eventually, masasangkot si Mayor dyan. Sasabihin, bakit mabagal ang galaw ng LGU? So, I am raising that right now para maliwanag po sa atin the importance of submitting the line list within 24 hours from vaccination, making sure that the encoding is proper and correct para wala ng errors, para kaagad-agad ma-generate yung digital vaccine certificate. And number 3, most importantly, kung may errors, meron po tayong mga naka-assign na tao whose role is to correct those errors so that the vaccination certificate can be issued by the system. So I think I have already explained the importance of this project as well as the role of the LGU, the important role of the LGU in making it succeed. So once again, nagpapasalamat po ako sa DILG Region 4A, RDRL, for organizing this rollout. And I hope na lahat po ng tanong nyo, itanong nyo na ngayon. Okay? Ilatag na nating maayos. Sana ma-relay natin ng maayos sa ating mga partners sa local government unit the importance of assigning people and training the people. And we can assure everyone, the DICT is here to work with us. Okay, so kung meron po kayong suggestions or questions to how to improve the system on their end, they are ready to do so. Sila din naman, they're depending on us. So kung meron ding recommendations tayo sa mga LGUs or yung LGUs may recommendation towards the DICT or the DIC recommendation sa LGU, let's do that now so that we have a very successful rollout, learning from the experience that we're currently doing in Metro Manila in our soft launch. So yun lamang po at marami pong salamat.
Thank you, Yusek Malaya, for opening remarks. And before we proceed sa ating discussion proper, ay sasabi lang po namin na yung link po ay pwede natin pong i-share sa pamamagitan po ng ating DILG 4A official FB page. And meron din po tayo sa DILG R4A YouTube channel. So, yung mga nag-a-ask po ng ating recorded na videos ay pwede po natin silang makita o mabisita uli sa mga nasabing page. Good morning po and welcome dito nga po sa ating activity for today. And before we start yung discussion ay iniimbitan ko po ang lahat na buksan ng kanilang camera para po sa ating photo documentation habang ang lahat po ay fresh pa po. Salamat po. Naka-open na po ba ang ating mga cameras? Yan po. In the count of 1, 2, 3, smile. 1. Second page po. 1, 2, 3, smile. Third page. 1, 2, 3, smile. (26), 321, and 27, 321. Ayan po, thank you po. And salamat po sa pakikipag-cooperate po. And now, to proceed sa our discussion proper, may I call on Ms. Maria Margarita Torres, T3 Communication Head, to discuss the communication strategy. Good morning po, Ma'am Maria.
Good morning. Margo na lang po ang itawag niyo sa akin.
Ayan.
Yes po, good morning, Ms. Margo.
Ma'am Margo, nandiyan pala kayo. Good morning.
Siyempre, meeting mo to. Hindi naman ako hindi.
Hindi ko alam, sorry, hindi kita na-acknowledge. Thank you for joining us.
Okay, so I'm part of Task Force T3. Kasama din po sa Task Force T3 ang Wonderman Thompson, ang ating creative agency. Nandito po si Golda Roldan, yung kaninang CEO, at si Pau Acosta, yung head ng accounts. Kami po ay tumutulong we partner with the government. Lahat kayo, DILG, DICT, DOH, kasama din po kami sa NVOC meetings para makatulong kung saan kailangan ng tulong. So sa akin naman po, sa communications yung itinutulong ko. So sa VaxCert, together with DICT, pinag-aralan ho namin yung buong consumer journey. Maririnig nyo yon later sa DICT kung ano nga ba yung proseso na dadaanan ng customer. Ito lang yung mga kailangan tandaan, no? Unang-una, ano nga ba yung VaxCert? Ito po ay dokumento that is referred to as a digital vaccine certificate, pero pwede din naman hong hard copy of the status of a person vaccinated in the Philippines. So kasi yun ang may record natin. So ito po ay recognized sa iba-ibang bansa kasi compliant siya sa WHO guidelines at makakasigurado kayong meron naman siyang security. Dahil nandyan po ang DICT, sinigurado nila na secure yung QR code at lahat ng sistema pagdating sa VaxCert. So nagsisimula siya siyempre sa pagbakuna sa inyong mga vaccination center. At napaka-importante dun sa inyong pag-record ng information ng isang consumer. So yan ho yung makaka-avoid ng ating mga no record found. Ang sabi nga nila, pagdating sa data, garbage in, garbage out. So kailangan maayos dun pa lang sa pag-record. I think ang maaring sabihin sa citizen, pa-check niyo ho yung pagkasulat ng pangalan, kung tama yung spelling, tama ba yung buo ba yung middle name at hindi lang initial. At ang importanteng kailangan malaman ng vaccinee yung pangalan sa kanyang Vax card pareho sa kanyang government ID, lalong-lalo na sa passport. Kasi nga, pang travel document ito, napaka-importante. So yan po yung logo na dinevelop natin. We will make all the materials available through a Google link para magawan nyo rin ho ng communication sa inyong mga LGU at may kanya-kanya naman ho kayong Facebook pages at magagamit nyo yan para ma-inform yung ating mga citizens. So ito ho yung napaka-importante ho ng role kasi ninyo eh. So nasabi ho ni Yusek John na yung record ng vaccinee sana 24 hours after. Kaya ang sinasabi sa consumer, kung ikaw ay nabakunahan, hindi pa nakakalampas ang 48 hours, malamang wala yung inyong record. So binibigyan ng another 24 hours mula sa pagbigay ninyo sa VIMS, may oras pa tayo na may allowance, kumbaga, bago humingi ng VaxCert ang isang nagpabakuna. Ang VaxCert, dahil COVID vaccine status siya, actually, pwede namang partial, pero hindi pa siya handa sa sistema ngayon. Ang sisimulan natin, fully vaccinated lang na mga tao. So I think that's about 18 million people already nationwide. So, pwede rin siyang lumapit sa inyo, sa LGU. Maaring wala siyang internet, wala siyang pang-data, wala siyang computer, or wala siyang printer. So, makikita nyo later on, meron ho tayong peg o design para sa booth. Pwede nyo hong gawin yan sa inyong LGU. Yung ibang NCR LGUs nakipag-usap din sa mga mall at nagtayo din sila ng mga booth kung saan accessible sa ating consumer. So again, stress ko lang na yung tao, pag pumunta siya sa LGU at humingi ng tulong, kailangan alam niya, dalhin na niya yung vaccination card niya kasi yun ang proof na nabakunahan ninyo. Dalhin na rin niya yung kanyang passport or government ID para mamamatch ninyo yung pangalan. At kailangan kapareho ko yung name. Yung isa pang importanteng tandaan, again, kailangan 2 doses fully vaccinated. Of course, sa J&J, 1 dose lang po ito. And 48 hours na yung nakalipas mula nung nakuha niya yung second dose niya. At napaka-importante ipaalala sa ating vaccinee na private information to yung vaccine certificate. Baka naman sa pagka-excited nila, post sila ng post. So may mga impormasyon na lumalabas. So mas maigi na hindi na nila i-share. Itago na lang nito kasi private information. Parang passport, di ba sinasabi sa atin, huwag natin ipopost yan. At medyo confidential ang info. So, meron hong information guide na na-develop. Again, yung mga artwork na nakikita ninyo, we will make that available. So, itong pilot na ginawa sa NCR at Baguio, ganyan din po yung artwork na binigay. Pinalitan na lang namin na hindi lang nakalagay NCR and Baguio dahil dumadami na tayong regions na kasama sa VaxCertPH. Pero hanggang ngayon, nililimit natin sa OFW and international travelers yung makakakuha talaga ng vaccine certificate. Okay, ito ho yung kino-communicate natin sa labas para hindi tayo ma-overwhelm sa dami ng humihingi. Pero hindi naman natin talaga mapipigilan yung mga ibang tao na maaring hindi naman siya traveler or gusto lang niya subukan yung sistema, mangyayari po yon. So dapat handa tayo. May poster din po na magagamit ninyo at ang kailangan malaman naman ng consumer, may iba-ibang paraan para makuha siya. So magkakaroon tayo ng mobile app pero hindi pa siya ready. Tapos may website na ho. Yung website address na kailangan matandaan ay VaxCert. Ano nga ba siya? VaxCert.doh.gov.ph. Yon yung pupuntahan nila using on the internet. Tapos pwede na nilang i-check doon. And of course, pwede ho pumunta sa City Hall. So, meron din tayong sample kung ano ho yung mapopost ninyo sa inyong Facebook pages. So, meron siyang social post. Example lang ho yung Pasig at saka Taguig. Tapos, meron din hong pang-outdoor or kahit sa labas lang po ng pintuan ng LGU or kung meron kayong mga ibang paglalagyanan ng banner, pwede rin nyo ho gamitin ito. And finally, ito yung standee or yung pwede nyong ilagay doon kung saan yung booth sa City Hall para madaling makita ng consumer or kung magtatayo man kayo sa ibang lugar katulad ng mall. So magiging ganyan po yung itsura ng setup, yung ating information guide na pinakita ko kanina, yung banner, yan yung gagamitin natin. Tapos hindi naman ho kailangan may design. Ano lang siya, pwedeng table, okay? Hindi rin naman ho kailangan may backdrop, pero kung ginaganahan naman po kayo, pwede rin. So, at hindi rin kailangan sa SM malls. Kung meron kayong mga ibang kausap sa Ayala, sa Robinsons, sa Gaisano, pwede naman po kahit anong public place na accessible sa ating mga citizens. So again, we will make all the materials and the collaterals available for your use. Magpapadalo po kami ng link. So that's about it for me, Yusek John. Baka there are some questions lang.
Yes, Christian, our MC from Region 4A.
Good morning po.
Yes, Christian, tapos na si Miss Margot. Maybe you want to open for open forum or
Yes po. Thank you, Miss Margot, for the discussion of the communication strategies. And now, we proceed. Bago tayo mag-proceed sa ating next discussion, ay siguro mag-open forum po muna tayo para habang andito po si Miss Margot, para po sa may mga katanungan.
Well, may isang tanong sa chat.
Yes
po. Sorry, may tanong lang sa chat yung availability ng link. Papadala ko po yun through DICT or DOH or papadala ko diretso kay Yusek John. Siya na bahala pagdating sa DILG. Please do not worry, we will send it.
Thank you po,
Yes,
Miss Margot.
Christian, meron lang po tayong isang, actually may isang comment sa ating chat box from Masantol RHU. Kung pwede daw pong maayos yung format ng DICT kasi lagi may error po kapag nag-a-upload na yung sa VAS. From Masantol RHU po. Ma'am Margot, can we have a feedback po regarding the concern?
I'm not sure I understand the question on the format. Are we talking about a format in the communications po o yung format nung mismong data?
Ma'am, with your approval po, can we request yung ating nag-comment from Masantol RHU if you could open your camera and your microphone po so that ma-explain niyo po ang inyong concern, sir?
I think ang question ang question sa chat kasi is about uploading . kahit gusto ko man po sagutin yan, parang dapat po yata tanungin natin yung DICT kasi tungkol to sa format ng pag-upload. Kasi tungkol na to sa VAX, di ba? Sa VIMS VAX. So, if anybody here from DICT can help me. April, are you here?
Yes, Ma'am Margo.
Yeah. Can you take that question, please?
Okay. Let's park yung question for later dahil meron pong magde-demo on the uploading ng corrected records po, if that is okay.
Okay, so to MA Santol, I hope we can park the question until DICT does the demo. But your question is duly noted.
Meron pa pong isang question dito regarding the validity ng certificate. So, there has been some confusions din po dito sa note na nandun sa certificate natin, and we are already addressing that by Monday or Tuesday. Hindi nyo na po makikita yung particular note na yon. I hope that will answer or that suffices na po yung concern nyo on the 14 days.
Yan po, Miss Monet, meron pa rin po dito tayong nagtataas po ng kamay, si Sir Edgardo Gonzaga. Sir Edgardo.
Good morning.
Good morning po.
Sir. Good morning. I am Dr. Gonzaga, the Municipal Health Officer of Kenta Rizal. Actually, I tried getting my VaxCert and I was successful. So I would like to thank the lead agency for doing so because it will help us a lot. You're right, we need to upload immediately the records of our vaccines because it's important. Just recently, we have been vaccinated more than 2,500 and our encoders are overwhelmed, so we cannot help it. But may mga few backlogs and they just have to bring home the recording of the encoding, because once in a while our internet connection at the vaccination center get off. So we are doing our job eventually add on from the office to the vaccination center and at home. I think for everyone, this is a good move from our government so that we'll be compliant with the other countries' requirement. You're right, Ma'am Margo, the first step towards the realization of the VaxCert is the uploading of the baseline Gs. We'd like to thank the DICT for giving us the feedback if we have a mistake in the uploading. And we got series of emails just to put in the corrections. But honestly, it will really take time for us to do some uploading, but we're at the level of the RHU and our encoding, we are trying our very best. The move also that the corrections of the errors is just right because we are the generators of the data. So better off that we correct them easily so that they will not be going back to us once they apply for the vaccination certificate right there in the website. We will try our best to hire a dedicated encoders for us to have a drive-through issuance of the VaxCertPH so that this will help ease our people to have an immediate issuance. But I hope this will not take time. This is the effort that we are planning to do at the level of the LGU of Kenta Rizal. Maraming salamat po.
Thank you po, Sir Edgardo. And now, may nagre-raise pa po ng hand si RHU Bacolor. Hello po.
Christian, I think the question po of RHU Bacolor ay, let me read lang po from the chat box. Good morning, ma'am or sir. We in our LGU are planning to incorporate the booth within our municipal information booth. Is it really mandatory to have a physical booth as presented in the DICT? This is regarding po yung booth, physical booth daw po. Is it really mandatory to put up a booth?
May I take that question? Hindi ho mandatory yung design, that's just a suggestion. But you will definitely need a booth, even if it's just a table and a banner, dahil meron ho talagang mga tao na hindi niya gusto pumunta sa internet dun sa VaxCert.doh.gov.ph at mas gugustuhin nilang pumunta talaga sa inyong LGU or yung iba gusto pumunta sa mall at kailangan matulungan ninyo pumunta dun sa site at i-input yung kanilang mga information. Makikita nyo later sa demo ng DICT kung gaano kadali kumuha naman ng VaxCert on the site. And I believe there is a video that they have, I've seen it already, on how to use it. So that will be shown. Sir Ian, I saw your question in the chat later.
Thank you po, Ms. Margot, for answering the question from RHU Bacolor. And meron pa po ba?
Christian, we have another question po.
Yes po, Ms. Etin.
From Jess. May mga nagtatanong po yung ibang OFW na nakakakuha na ng VaxCert. Hindi daw po nare-read ng ordinary QR scanner. May mga authorized entity or agency lang ba ang pwedeng makabasa ng VaxCert? Would you like to answer this question, Ma'am Margot?
Yeah, hindi talaga mariread ng QR code yung kanyari sa Viber o kaya dun sa mga QR reader. Ang nakakabasa ko ng QR code, yung mismong scanner dun sa portal ng VaxCert. At ang kailangan lang naman magbasa niyan ay yung authorized travel authorities eh. So, ang gagamitin nyo, sinubukan ko na rin eh. Pumunta kayo sa vaxcert.doh.gov.ph. Meron isang parang scanner button doon. Makikita nyo yung icon. Yun ho yung nakakabasa. Tapos lalagay nyo yung red line sa gitna ng QR code.
And to add po dun sa sinabi ni Ma'am Margo, naglagay na din po kami ng note sa mismong baba ng QR code na kung gusto nyong i-scan, gamitin nyo yung nasa vaxcert.doh.gov.ph para wala na pong malito.
Okay po, okay po, Ms. Aprilyn and Ma'am Margo. And then may nagtatas pa po ng kanyang kamay from Masantol RHU. From Masantol RHU po.
Masantol pala siya. Kala ko MA Santol. Masantol RHU. Thanks, Christian.
You can now ask your question po from Masantol RHU.
Yung kung sinesend po ba namin sa PGB?
Ma'am, sorry po. Medyo mahina po yung audio po natin from Masantol RHU. Mahina po yung ating audio, ma'am.
Hello po. Naririnig na po.
Medyo mahina pa rin po, ma'am. Anyway, Christian, siguro while waiting po for the audio na maayos yun dun sa Masantol, I would just like to read yung isang question from our chat box regarding
the infomercials, but it was already answered in the chat box. Siguro for the information lang din of everyone. Good morning, ma'am, sir. I would like to ask if you could provide infomercials for the whole VaxCert process so that we could put it on our sites that is in charge of our VaxCert applications. Ms. Torres already answered po na the DICT has a video to be shown later. Siguro hintayin na lang po natin, and then we'll ask them din po to share the videos din po. Thank you po.
So, Christian,
Yes po, ma'am.
marami sa questions kasi are really related to the process. So, I apologize, I cannot stay kasi beyond 11 o'clock. May suggestion ako na baka naman pwedeng i-present na ng DICT yung proseso. Kasi ang importanteng kailangan malaman ng mga LGU, anong gagawin kung no record found? Ano nga bang gagawin nung citizen at anong kailangan gawin ng LGU? So, kasama rin ho yan sa presentation ng DICT.
Yes, noted po, Ms. Margo. And thank you po. Siguro po magpo-proceed na po tayo sa next discussions. And thank you po, Ms. Margo, for sharing your time and expertise dito po sa ating meeting for today. And then, siguro sabi nga po ni Ms. Margo, yung ating mga strategies and mga processes ay madidiscuss po ng DICT later on sa kanila. Pag natapos na po ito ay mag-open forum po tayo ulit. Thank you, Ms. Margo.
Thank you, Christian.
Yes po. And now to proceed para po sa ating discussion ng reporting and validation tool for LGUs, data quality analysis, the system readiness, LGU readiness, at saka LGU boot preparations. May I call on Ms. April Ann Corpus, DICT VaxCert Officer. Good morning po, Ma'am April.
Yes, good morning. I apologize, I'm not going to activate the video. Medyo mahina po ang connection ko, intermittent. So, yes, if we can share our screen lang. Dave?
Go ahead po, ma'am.
Thank you. Dave? Dave, please share your screen. Pa-unmute po si Dave.
Yes po, ma'am.
Okay. Hello po, good morning.
Yeah, Dave, pa-share lang ng screen and then I'll do the agenda, then I'll turn over to you.
Alright po. Sharing my screen.
Yeah. Next slide, please. Yan. So, good morning, everyone. Good morning, Yusek John, to the regional directors, provincial directors, city directors, cluster heads, and everyone who are in the call at this point. Thank you for the time, no, para mai-share namin kung ano yung process at saka especially yung reporting and validation tool sa lahat ng regions na nandito. So basically, si VaxCertPH, before the soft launch last September 6, we have conducted through the help of our dream team kick-off an orientation with the various LGUs sa iba-ibang regions. That's the reason why for today, our focus will be more on dun sa reporting and validation tool natin na gagamitin ng ating mga LGUs. So ipapakita namin quickly how the analysis happens, and then yung demo po. And the demo will include yung VaxCertPH portal and then how it flows to the reporting and validation tool in cases where there are no record found or incorrect details po, no. And Yusek John earlier made a good point, no, na the reason why we had to have the soft launch is para ma-discover natin kung ano yung mga possible na challenges or errors na may encounter natin so that it can become a lessons learned and then ma-share natin sa ibang region bago pa sila mag-full rollout. So we will be sharing those common line list data errors na napansin po namin during the beta testing as well as dun sa soft launch. one key item that we will have to discuss as well is the LGU readiness, no? So basically, yung LGU readiness would cover yung workforce readiness po natin, yung readiness ng mga tao or mga resources po ng LGUs na who will man the booth, no? And then yung operational readiness, so ibig sabihin yung mismong booth at saka yung mga equipment na kailangan po sa booth. So we will be discussing that. And then lastly, we would like to show yung yung current yung situational report po ng VaxCertPH. So from the soft launch until yesterday, ilan na po ba yung nag-request, ano po yung rate ng, or gaano kadami yung error rate, or yung ibig sabihin yung gaano karami yung may no record found cases, so that yung next wave ng regions and cities po, no, na para sa rollout is ma-ready natin, and meron silang baon-baon na kailangan pag-isipan before the launch. We will also be sharing, no, yung common challenges and good practices na observe po natin through our one-on-one sessions with the different soft launch na from the different LGUs na naka-include po sa soft launch, so that again yung ating next wave ng maro-roll out, maging ready po sila, and meron silang pwedeng balikan na okay, we have to ready because may ganitong common challenge pala na na-encounter. And then yung good practices din po, so that you can adapt as necessary. So at this point, we will be starting with the reporting and validation tool. I'm turning over the floor to Dave. Dave, go ahead, please.
All right. Thank you, Ms. April. So good morning po. So we'll proceed to the discussion on the reporting and validation tool. Okay. So for the validation and rectification po, as we are all aware, the LGU has the responsibility to upload accurately and timely yung line list records to the VAS and also to update and correct the details that needs correction in the data or vaccination record of our vaccinees. So for the process po, the validation and rectification is used to correct and update the data of an individual who is requesting for his/her digital vaccination certificate doon po sa ating VaxCertPH portal. This is for those who requested the certificate and encountered a no record found notification or found an incorrect record detail in the person's information. So doon po sa ating VaxCertPH portal, pwede po dalawang scenario. One is yung no record found wherein nag-request po si vaccinee ng kanyang certificate doon sa portal pero hindi nahanap yung kanyang record. So that's categorized as a no record found. And then yung incorrect record naman po is nagpunta si vaccinee doon sa portal, he or she was able to saw his vaccination records or even generated a certificate, but then there's an incorrect data doon sa kanyang record. Probably may mali doon sa kanyang gender o kaya doon sa kanyang middle name. So those are the examples po. And then the LGU will use an application tool to check the submitted incorrect individual records. So dito na po papasok yung ating reporting and validation tool, wherein the LGU has access and the ability to search for the line list record of that specific person and to check whether there are incorrect data doon sa kanyang vaccination record. And lastly, the LGU will use the VAS line list application or yung uploader po natin to upload the corrected record of the individual requestor. So doon po sa application na yun, masasubmit natin kung ano na po yung tama niyang record in order for him or her to be able to generate already his or her digital vaccination certificate in the portal. So doon po sa ating reporting and validation tool, and we discussed this as well during the kickoff and user training natin with the LGUs. We have what we call the forward reconciliation. So what we use here is yung line list records that we can search doon sa ating reporting and validation tool, as well as pag nag-submit po kasi si vaccine doon sa portal ng request for no record found o kaya incorrect record, he or she is asked to upload a photo of the vaccination card issued vaccination card of the LGU and also a valid ID along with the request. So doon po sa ating reporting validation tool, we have the ability to view the uploaded photos as well. And then lastly, yun po yung tatlo na line list record, photo ng ID, photo ng vaccination card. And the fourth one is yung ating separate system or repository sa ating LGU. Probably it could be another system wherein we're uploading as well yung vaccination record, no? Like VAS o kaya a separate system. Yung DVAS pala, no? Or but possible din na kung walang system, mayroong mga physical records nung records ng ating mga vaccines. So reconciliation details is using yung uploaded photo vaccine card, the ID, search line list record, and then LGU's own line list search result. So the next step for this is to assess the necessary update required based on the resources that we have, yung apat po na yun, and then prepare the corrected line list for upload doon sa ating VAS uploader. Data implication. So this one po, this is discussing about the inputs in the portal, no? So doon po sa portal natin, we are requiring to the vaccinee to input the last name, first name, date of birth, and also the vaccination details, which is yung municipality and city of the vaccination and date of vaccination for the first and second dose. So as you would recall po, no, yung middle name natin and suffix are optional fields. And then the middle name is not actually used to search as a criteria to search for the vaccinations record in the portal. Yung suffix naman po may be left blank, but that will be used as a search criteria if that is populated. Okay. So if any incorrect detail na mandatory input details, meron pong mali doon sa in-input ni user doon sa portal, that would result to a no record found notification to the vaccinee or requestor. Say for example, na mistype niya po yung name niya doon mismo sa portal o kaya mali yung nilagay niya na date ng vaccination or birth date or place of vaccination, magkaka no record found din po siya doon. Okay. So now I will proceed to the demo. So I'll be sharing my screen again. Mag-stop share na po muna ako. Okay. All right. Hello po. Thank you for waiting po. So now we are inside already. I'm showing yung reporting and validation tool. So this was introduced as well during the training and user training with the LGUs last August. And then so now I'm using yung test environment po natin. Pero it has the same functionalities as well doon sa ating production version. And if you would notice, meron po tayong separate section for the no record at saka incorrect record, which I mentioned kanina, no? May categories po tayo ng mga request, no? So for the no record found po, yun yung pumunta si vaccinee sa portal pero wala siyang na-search na record. So in this section po, no, we have the submitted request section. So in here, dito po natin maloload yung mga requests that came from the portal, and then we have the section as well for the searching of the vaccination records, yung line list records po natin. Okay, so now first step is I need to load yung list of requests, So we have 4 search fields in the tool. First is yung reference number. So if we indicated or entered a specific reference number here, and then we click the reload, lalabas po yung specific reference number that I'm searching. So pwede rin naman po na last name, say for example, Cruz. Okay. So ito pong last name po natin is hindi naman siya nagsisearch ng exact match, no? If the last name has that specific text, no, or string, makikita po or ma-search po yon ng tool natin. See, for example, si De La Cruz, hindi naman po siya exactly Cruz, ano? Mas-search po siya ng tool. Also, may mga other names po dito like ito naman po is like a test lang naman na the record. So Cruz 1 na na-search na rin po. Okay? Sa pag-select naman po ng date range, pwede rin po natin siyang i-select by date range, ano? Say for example, I want to search yung mga submitted requests noong August 1 until August 31. Ayan. And then click reload.
Status.
Ayan po. So, possible po yun, no, na date range. And then masa-search ko po kung ano yung date range na nilagay, yung request na may submitted date based according to the date range. Pwede rin po na status, no? See, for example, open, validating, rejected, updated, closed. For now, I will be selecting open. But you can do a multiple selection on this field po, no? Okay. So, ang isa-search na lang po is lahat ng request na may open status. But then you can also do a combination search, no? Pwede lagyan yung other fields if you want to search for a specific person or a specific reference number, then I'll do that. Okay, let me just tagan to. Okay. Right. So this one po, no, we'll proceed doon sa pag-rectify na. So this is a sample ng ating no record found request. So this came from Willie Boy Diaz. So if you select this record doon sa submitted request section, you would notice na auto-populate na po yung last name and first name. So wala po kung in-input dito kanina, no? Auto-populated po yan. And then you can do a search here. Click the search button para mahanap natin kung ano yung existing na line list record of that specific person doon sa ating database. So right now, what we're seeing is a single record, no? And if we scroll to the right, yung first dose po niya is, first dose column is naka-Y and then second dose is naka-N. So this means ito po yung first dose vaccination record niya. But then, there could be times po, no, na say for example, yung name, yung first name kasi yung first name niya is multiple, na dalawa yung first name niya, Willie Boy. Sometimes po, meron lang encoding error and then hindi nata-type yung other name. So, let's try putting muna yung first name na Willie doon sa first name field and then do a search. Right. Okay, so ngayon po lumabas na yung pangalawang record niya, no? Okay. So, with this po, what we did is parang expanded search, no? By using yung one of the first name ni Willie Boy, because during the testing phase and also during the beta phase that we had, we encountered these issues as well na minsan may encoding error or miss na hindi natatype po yung full first name ng person. Okay. So from this, since we were able to find the two vaccination record of Willie Boy, no, let's check whether we have the first and second dose vaccination record. By scrolling to the right po, going back to the first dose and second dose right now, we are seeing na yung first dose niya for the both records ay nakatag sa Y. And then yung second dose is nakatag to N. So, possible po na this is an encoding error as well, ano? So we have to verify whether which of these records is the first dose and the second dose. Okay. So by viewing the uploaded photo, no, let's try to view the uploaded photo because we wanted to see whether those two records are pertaining to Willie Boy talaga, and also which one is the first or second dose. So now, pinapakita po dito yung side-by-side photo ng ID and also the vaccination card. And what we wanted to check here is yung name, the consistency of name doon sa ID and vaccine card. So, Willie Boy Diaz. Yung middle name niya po is Dean. And then, meron po siyang suffix na junior. Birth date is October 11, 1990. So, that's consistent naman po. And we can also check whether it's the same place, no? So, for example, ang residence niya is Pasig. And then dito sa vaccination card, Pasig din. So, that could be used as well to identify the consistency of the data. And then also, we have here yung mismong vaccination details, no? Yung first and second dose vaccination date, and also yung manufacturer as well, and the lot number. We can also refer to the vaccinator name, and also yung health facility kung saan siya na-vaccinan. Okay? So yung first dose niya po is July 30, and then yung second dose niya is August 15. So when we go back to the line list record, let's check whether tama po yung vaccination date, no? So yung vaccination date niya is July 30 and August 15. So that matches yung vaccination card. Now, based on this, we have identified kung ano yung first dose at saka second dose. So ito po yung first dose, yung July 30, and yung second dose is August 15. Vaccine manufacturer signed Sinovac, the same. Yung lot number po, A542, which we also saw doon sa vaccination card, no? It's the same. Right? Okay. So, going back again to the details, we need to check as well kung ano po yung mali doon sa vaccination records niya, no? Aside from the first name na may kulang doon sa first record, we will notice na may kulang din doon sa suffix. Hindi na type in yung junior, no, doon sa first record. So doon sa portal, kasi we are asking the user as well to input a suffix, no? And if you enter a suffix there and doon sa first dose vaccine, doon sa isang record niya na vaccination record, wala siyang suffix, then that would result to no record found as well. Okay? And then, further scrolling to the right, we see yung sex po should be male, no? Kasi Willie, male. And then, yung second record niya is female. So, this data needs correction as well. Again, birth date. When we see the birth date po, mapapansin natin, no? 1990, 11, 10. So, this is November 10. And then, second record is October 11. And when we go back to sa uploaded photo niya, it's consistent na yung birth date niya is October 11, 1990. So, ang nangyari po dito, nag-switch yung month and date doon sa first record. So, this is an encoding error as well. So, dapat po, ang i-correct natin is yung birth date doon sa first record. Further scrolling to the right. Ayun po, no? Dito, we have identified kung ano yung first and second dose. So, ito yung first dose. Tama po yung pagtag ng Y and N doon sa first and second dose column. Ang papalitan po dito dapat is yung itong record na to. So, since this is the second dose vaccination record, dapat naka-N nakatag yung first dose, and yung second dose po is dapat nakatag to Y. Okay? Alright. So, once we have identified kung ano po yung dapat na i-correct doon sa data, then we have to download those specific records. So, may download button po tayo dito. And then when I open this, I'm not sure if you will be able to see yung Excel. So I might need to reshare my screen. One moment na po. I'll be sharing my screen again. Okay. So I hope you're already seeing the Excel po, no, that I have downloaded from the tool.
Yes.
So as you would notice po, no, this is yung mga familiar po na nag-upload or nagko-correct, nagre-rectify ng ng vaccination records. Yung na-download po natin is already in alignment doon sa ating VAS line list template. So right now we have a total of 29 columns. And this is the same sequence ng column doon sa VAS line list template natin. So we can already transfer this doon sa ating VAS line list template and then do the correction there. But for this demo, let's try to do a correction already in this file. So I need to correct yung first name ni Willie Boy and then suffix. Ano pa po ba? Sex should be M for male. Yung birth date niya is October 11. So tama po yung second record, October 11. Ang papalitan po natin dito is yung first. Right. Vaccination date, vaccine manufacturer, lot number, those are all consistent doon sa vaccine card. First dose, second dose tagging, doon sa nakita natin kanina, this one is the second dose, yung first record. So dapat papalitan natin yung tagging ng Y and N dito. Okay. So at the end po, we will be having yung purpose column in the hash ID as well. And this hash ID will be used to later on may demo rin po about the VAS uploader. No? And this hash ID will be used by that application to determine kung ano po yung dapat na i-delete na old record. And then for the newly submitted or corrected records, a new hash ID will be generated for those records. So that will be further discussed po when we go to the demo of the VAS line list uploader. So now, okay, so since we have corrected na yung entry na to, we can already transfer doon sa VAS line list template and then pwede na rin to i-upload doon sa VAS line list uploader. Okay. So that's it po for the demo of the retool. And now we go, or may I call on Mr. Dario Malazo to do a demo as well of the VAS line list uploader. So Sir Dario, are you here in the call already?
Yes, sir. Good morning po.
Okay. So I'll turn the floor to Mr. Dario. Thank you, sir. I'll stop sharing my screen.
Yes, sir. First of all, good morning to everyone. For the continuations of our demonstration, let me share my screen. I'm not going to show you first the presentations for the VAS line list. Hopefully nakikita po natin lahat yung nasa screen. Before I go to the demonstration, so let me show you first or give you a short background about the VAS line list uploader. So let me go to the next slide. So meeting guide. And then our agenda for this VAS line list, aside from the welcoming introduction, yung process of uploading later, I'm going to show you how. And then the monitoring and compliance, support process, and later if you have some questions, sasagutin po namin yung mamaya. And as part of the objectives of the VAS line list, as you know, the VAS line list serves as the primary source of information of public health monitoring or even issuance of the National Vaccine Certificate. And to continue, as you can see, the DICT is the enabler of this platform for the DOH implementations of this vaccines or vaccinations to the LGU. And we as in CBS regional support, serve as a support kami, no? And then for the VAS line list, dalawa lang naman yung supposed to be parang pinaka main factor ng VAS line list, yung to upload yung master list. Of course, using the VAS line list uploader, and the baseline list contains 27 columns, and with the corrections po na naging 29 because of the 2 added column na yung nakita nyo kaninang reason and yung hash ID kanina, if ever meron mga incorrect records or not found records po doon sa may VaxCert. And then there are 3 organizations like for the master list and the baseline list. Ito nanggagaling to sa Bakuna Center, to the LGU, and to the NBO. And as you can see in the slide, andyan na po yung pinaka-URL natin referring to the baseline list uploading platform natin that contains yung template natin, 27 columns for the baseline list. Naging 29 nga lang po siya if ever may mga subject for the corrections po tayo dun sa may entry natin. And the next slide will show you a simple environment of the baseline list. As you can see in your menu, isa lang po yung nakikita natin doon. No? Meron tayong baseline, under the dashboard, meron tayong baseline import and then yung baseline list correction. So sa baseline import, ito yung nakikita natin dito na may download template and then download template with macros. Why? Kasi meron na tayong there are 2 ways na po tayo para mai-submit natin yung master list natin using offline or even with internet connections. Kaya meron tayo dito additional na with macros. So ang purpose po ng macros, meaning to say at our end, even if we're not connected in the internet, we can now check yung mga incorrect inputs natin doon. And then the VAS-LL corrections, ito yung kanina na na-download ni Sir Dave kanina po na subject for the corrections, and this time isasubmit na po sa may baseline list to correct yung na-identify na incorrect sa request po nung ng applicant po natin. And then as you can see below, may kikita nyo na po rito if successfully uploaded or there's some error pa rin to attend to pa din sa may in-upload natin na file. And referring to the file po, as long as it is Excel, acceptable po yan dito sa may platform natin. Then, the next slide will show you yung example po ng template na in an offline validations po with the use of macros validation. So, ito po yun. Mamaya, i-demonstrate ko po yan. And then, ito po yung mangyayari if ever meron kayong incorrect input po doon sa may template natin, magkakaroon po siya ng color, shaded po siya, na meaning to say, ito yung field o yung column na kailangan mong i-correct. So if ever meron kayo hundreds of records na nandiyan dyan, kung sino lang po yung mag-a-appear na record, siya lang po yung magkakaroon ng reflections ng color. Otherwise po, yung mga plain naman po, parang correct po siya na parang wala tayong dapat na i-edit po doon. And ito po yung mga acceptable special character or somewhat restrictions referring to each field. Kung mapapansin nyo dyan, yung mga fix po natin doon na data natin sa bawat column, sa bawat cell na nakikita natin na may drop down. So ito po yung mga possible value. Ngayon, there are some restrictions referring like, kung nakikita nyo po ito sa my name, ito pong sa last name, alphanumeric accept special characters, yung may angle bracket, colon, double quotations, open double quotations, and then forward slash or backward slash. Yung mga yan, hindi yan acceptable. Then the rest, the same na din, like yung sa may birth date, we followed yung pinaka-standard setting date po natin na month, day, then yung 4 na digit po na year. And so on. So, somewhat self-explanatory na naman yung iba. And other tips, like if in the middle name wala pong talagang apelido, better lagyan natin ng N-O-N-E yung man. So otherwise, hindi po talaga pag blank, pag required field po yan, meaning to say hindi tayo makapag-continue sa pag-upload dahil kailangan meron siyang content po na data natin. So it's either sa middle name po wala talaga, edi none na lang po ilalagay natin. And the same with the rest, gano'n na rin po yun. So monitoring compliance, the new VAS uploader will give near real time feedback. Kasi nga naman, doon mismo sa may baseline list is direct point sa data warehouse po natin. So lahat ng in-input natin as for example, 100% correct naman po yun. So yun, nagagamit na po sa useful information na po yun from the DOH or from our LGU then at the same time. And then daily line list submission report. Ayan, so the report will contain those LGUs without data upload or also the data uploaded. Data uploaded. Okay, so expect a call from our dream team, our REVs, regional support team, to discuss line list submission reports and challenges. As part of the monitoring per LGU. If ever meron po kayong mga concern, problem, meron po tayong contact center to support po yung mga LGU natin. And then as you can see in the next slide, and then in the slides, ito po example ng mga submitted natin ng mga file po o yung master list natin or yung baseline list po natin using the uploader platform po. And the next slide will show you ito yung support channel po namin na if ever sa mga LGU, binibigay po namin yan so that they can parang ask guidance or if there are some questions, concern, problem referring to this baseline list, ito na po yung support na pwedeng magamit nila at the same time makapag-ask sila ng guidance din at the same time. And then form the habit of daily uploading. Ito sa mga LGU, we always advise na if ever po sana everyday po, at the end of the day, ayun, dapat always ina-upload natin yung end of day report natin. And then prior to the questions po, let me stop my sharing and then let me show you on how to use this baseline list. Punta po tayo sa may, ito na po yung login page ng baseline list and then magla-login po ako. Makikita po natin dito yung nakita natin kaninang environment. So meron tayong baseline import. So dalawa lang naman po yung ano natin dito. Pwede tayong mag-download ng template if we're referring to a master list. And then using your, with the internet connections po, pwede na tayong mag-submit. Or if ever po na at your end, wala po kayong internet, you can download the template and edit it as early para ma-correct nyo na po yan. So simulan natin dito sa may pag-download ng template. So makikita natin dito, nag-download na siya. Open ko lang po. Ayan, stop ko lang po yung sharing. Then, ipakita ko po sa inyo yung itsura na download natin na template po. Ayan, so as you can see, it composed of different sheets, yung ano natin, yung template natin. Kung papasin nyo, itong mga the rest of the sheet na to, it can parang use as a guidance din or support po sa mga nag-upload po sa atin sa master list. So ito po yung gagamitin natin na sheet, yung past template. So meron po tayo dito na kailangan natin na fill in ng mga data. Enabling ko lang po yung editing. Ayan, so meron po tayo dito kailangan na fill in ng mga data sa pag-upload ng master list. And if ever na magkaroon tayo ng incorrect dito, using the upload template na master list, for example, gamit lang po ako ng isang line master list na may laman na, and then transfer ko na lang po doon para medyo mabilis po yung pag-i-input ng data. Kuha lang po ako ng sample para i-insert ko na lang po siya doon sa na-download ko na template. So, I think nakikita naman ng lahat. No? I started the category and then habit design ko na lang po siya. Yan. For example po, ito yung content nung na-download ko. Ilalagay ko siya dito sa may, ayan, paste ko na lang. So, palitan natin yung ano nangyari. Ito ay Santos na lang po siya. And then, let's say, Norman yung name niya. Ayan, si Brar na lang po. So, let's say dito po sa template natin, meron tayo ditong, para mas madali na lang po, no, itong adverse event na to. Let's say, meron tayong condition po kasi dito, na kung mapapansin natin, meron tayo ditong sample as guide din, or if ever po may mga choices naman tayo dito, katulad sa may baseline list, if nadudunot po kayo sa may, for example, ito po, punta tayo sa may region. Punta tayo sa may region. Ito, sa may region. So, kung titingin po tayo sa may choices, nakalagay naman po dito sa may sheets natin na referring to the region. Ito, meron tayong mga pwedeng i-copy-paste po na data. But pagdating po sa may province, makikita natin dito, please refer to region province code. Meron tayong another sheets dito na dito na natin titignan kung ano yung mga province with code na po natin. And same with the municipality, dahil ganoon din po yung instruction niya doon sa may choices. Kung makikita sa may choices, pagka pumunta tayo sa may municipality, nakalagay din dito, please refer to municipality code. So with that, pupunta tayo dito sa municipality code and then dito natin nahanapin kasi with ano po ito, prefix po ito na assign code po per ano po, province po yan. So ganun lang po siya ka-convenient gamitin. And if ever magkaroon tayo dito ng incorrect, katulad po nito, lagay na sa may dulo. Kunyari, dito na lang po, lagay natin dito, simple no lang. And then kapag sinave po natin yan, save ko na lang kasi siya naman yung dinownload ko. And then stop ko po yung sharing. Then try natin siyang i-upload. Balik tayo sa may platform natin ng VaxList. And then try natin siyang i-upload. Well, first it will ask you to enter your email so that if successfully uploaded, meron pong notifications na marireceive po kayo. And then through your email. Then nasa download po siya. Ito po yun. Ayan. So, and then open natin. Then submit natin. Mapapansin natin dito meron tayong incorrect po sa may input natin. Pagka mapapansin nyo in progress, pero pag refresh tayo, magkakaroon tayo, it doesn't mean na green po yan, successfully uploaded po siya. But look for the label, nakalagay doon, total lines 1, pass 0, and then failed 1. Ibig sabihin, meron tayong incorrect doon sa may field na na-input natin. So with that, kailangan natin siyang i-download ulit para makita natin kung ano yung incorrect natin doon. So sana nakikita nyo po ito pagka display ko po yung na-download ko na Excel. Nakikita nyo po. Ito, yung dinownload ko po na Excel. Or stop ko po yung sharing para makita po natin.
Hindi po nakikita.
Ayan, ito po, para makita po. Ito po yung dinownload ko na merong incorrect po, na na-identify si Vaseline din sa uploading platform po natin. So kung makikita na sa may dulot, tignan natin yung remarks, ano ba yung mali ko doon? Though intentionally, ang ginawa ko yung sa deferralism po, ginawa kong no sa doon na nakalagay po dito, ayan po, invalid dose tagging ng J&J. J&J po siya, should be Y in the second dose and not in the first dose. Meron pong nakita rito na hindi J&J pala yung nakalagay doon na brands na i-copy ko na data. So dapat doon 1 dose lang talaga siya. Pero ang ano natin, locations natin doon dapat nasa may second dose. So i-correct po natin siya. Tsaka sa may no. Ayan. Balik tayo doon sa na-download natin na template. Ito po yun. So J&J, ito po, na-detect niya itong dalawa na to, na dapat ang J po, dapat dito ay N, tapos dito dapat Y. Hindi naman siya case sensitive, no, kahit malaking letra or maliit na letra yan, walang problema. And ito po, since part siya ng lagyan na natin yung, i-correct na natin siya, then i-save as natin, lagyan na lang natin ng name para medyo safe tayo. Ilagay natin siya sa document. Ayan, lagyan ko na lang siya rito ng somewhat, kunyari, today. Para lang maging unique po yung natin. Then, stop yung sharing, tayo natin siya upload. Balik tayo dun sa natin, then upload uli natin with your email. So, every time, no, ganun ang mangyayari niyan. Then, punta tayo sa document, nilagyan ko ng file name na today, ito po siya. Ayan, then submit natin. So, dapat this time maging acceptable na po siya. So, in progress, refresh lang po natin yung page. Ayun, kung mapapansin ninyo, total line 1, pass 1, then failed 0. Kapag nag-check tayo dito, nakalagay na po doon sa label natin doon, yung past items na po. So meaning to say, for good na po yan, submitted na po siya sa may baseline list. So aside from etong template, meron pa po tayong options if ever medyo may difficulty po kayo dito sa may download template na to, ay ito, may advantage din itong download template with the offline validation. So download natin yung template. Sama similar dito sa may download template. Pero ang advantage po dito sa may download template with offline validation, meron po tayong tinatawag dito na macros as add-on po doon sa validation natin, sa input natin, sa master list natin. So open ko po yan. Yan, open natin. Then stop yung sharing para makita po natin yung yung itsura nung na-open ko po. Ito. Ayan, so kung mapapansin niyo, similar po ito sa may mga sa baseline list kanina. So at first kailangan yung i-enable yung editing sa mga mag-aano po ng offline validation. Kung mapapansin niyo po dito sa akin, may security warning. Ito intentionally po ito na ginawa ko that then may possible po na mangyari po ito sa mga LGU natin na may mga protection po tayo dahil may mga antivirus tayo na naka-installed or other software na nag-filter po o nagkakaroon tayo ng problem. So in my unit po, sinadya akong naka-disable po yung macros. So kung mapapansin niyo po dito, if meron pong need na bago po kayo mag-start sa offline validation, kailangan niyo po siyang i-enable. So pero pag wala naman po kayong, hindi nyo naman po nakita yan, it is understood, enabled na po din yung macros po dun sa my unit ninyo. Ang advantage po dito, similar po sila, kung mapapansin niyo yung mga other sheets, yung pa rin po yung mga sheet natin dito. Pero sa may baseline template natin, meron na po siya rito additional, hindi ko lang po makita, stop ko lang po yung sharing para pakita ko po sa inyo yung niya, for a while lang po. Ipakita ko yung sa macros, hindi kasi sa akin naka-appear. Ayan, so share ko ulit yung screen. Ayan, so ito yung dinownload ko with offline validation. Kung mapapansin nyo, nakikita nyo pa ito, yung with macros. Nakikita naman po, no?
Yes po.
Ito po yung difference dun sa nauna. If ever meron kayong nakitang problem doon, so etong offline validation, kung mapapansin ninyo dito, ginawa ko enable yung macros ko kanina, kaya meron na akong validation dito na pwede ko nang i-execute at the same time for me to check if meron akong incorrect input doon sa may bawat field. So lalagyan ko na naman para makita natin kung paano napapagana itong offline validation with the use of macros. So lagyan natin ng laman yan, but i-off ko muna yung mga ibang file na nakikita. I-stop ko muna yung sharing, tapos i-ready ko lang po yung mga file data na ilalagay ko dyan as part of the demonstration. So close ko lang po yung ibang mga sample na open ko na. And then stop ko po yung sharing, tapos magkakopy lang po ako ng data from macros naman po. So i-close itong, ayan, so stop ko lang po yung sharing, mag-open lang po ako ng file para sa with offline validation naman, and ikakopy ko na lang po yung data para makita natin na magka-appear na lang siya dun sa na-download natin na template. Ayan po. So open ko lang po, share ko sa inyo yung yung screen. Ito naman po yung kanina na na-download natin na walang laman. Ayan, so i-paste ko na lang po dito as example lang po for demonstration purposes. So simulan ko sa pinaka-first column po niya na yung category. Ayan, so kung mapapansin niyo may input na ako kagad dito. And if ever, ito po ay acceptable po itong data na to, pero natin, intentionally incorrect natin, katulad po itong PWD, gawin natin na nakalagay dyan. Tapos, sabihin natin dito sa may, ito po, supposed to be yung National Capital Region NCR and then second district, pero let's say ibang nalagay natin na province nakalagay dito na sa region po. Balikan natin sa may region. Kunyari nagkamali tayo ng region. Then what will happen pag nagkamali tayo ng region? The rest of the province and municipality, well, magkakaroon po tayo ng problem doon. Kunyari itong Cordillera ang nalagay natin doon dito sa may region natin, supposed to be NCR, tapos second district, hindi nga naman siya naka-align, no, Quezon City, but for lang po natignan natin. Then yung date niya, let's say, balik na rin po natin, naging 15, tapos 12, parang ito yung example kanina na instead of month, day, year, naging day, month ang nangyari. Day, month, tapos year. Though sa settings natin standard po dapat, month ang una, yung month, day, tapos yung year. And then etong deferral natin, gawin natin itong, then drop down list sa mga iba, no? Kahit sabihin natin, gawin natin itong, yes. Ayan, siguro, kung papansin ninyo, AstraZeneca yung vaccine manufacturer niya, tapos Vacuna Center. Let's say, eto, gawin natin itong, dito na lang, gawin natin, no, tignan natin. So, paano ba binavalidate ito using offline? I-open lang natin yung macros natin, click lang natin yung view macros, and then select tayo ng validation form. May mga nagkaka-problem po dito about the delimited yung sa may apostrophe dati. Meron na rin po tayo dito sa may macros. Kapag pinili lang natin yan, diniran natin, automatic yun, maiko-correct niya na po yung incorrect before na always na na-encounter natin yung ang problem po about the apostrophe. So, included na rin po siya dito sa may macros. So, for now, i-validate natin, input natin. Kung mapapansin ninyo na highlight po ng kulay pula, yung may mga incorrect na intentionally sinadya natin. And dito sa remarks, makikita natin dito, ang dami nag-appear ng mga incorrect input katulad ng PWD does not exist in the choices. So magkakaroon po tayo ng idea na hindi wala daw sa choices. So with that, kailangan natin pumunta sa choices and then look for the PW na it's only Y and N lang dapat ang laman. So parang ang mangyari niyan, having these remarks, magkakaroon tayo ng idea kung paano natin i-correct na yun yung mga unintentionally natin na na-input. Katulad po dito sa may province, mali po yung province natin. Ang na-detect niya yung sa may code, yung with code ang na-detect niya. Tapos, meron pa dito, ito na nakalagay dito na hindi dapat yung Cordillera ang nakaano doon sa may Quezon City. Yung birth date, mali rin po yung birth date natin. So ito, isa-isahin natin to. Pag iniisa natin na kinokorek yan, automatic mawawala na rin po yan. Katulad po, unahin natin dito sa may PWD. Mali yung code na lagay natin, that should be no lang. Ayan, just to show you lang, no, kung paano siya na i-correct agad. Pag nag-run tayo sa may validation form, mawawala na po yung sa kanya. N lang pala, sorry. N lang pala sa kanya, hindi pala no. Ayan, N lang pala sa kanya. So, i-validate natin. Ayun, kung mapapansin niyo po, isa-isa nawawala yung kulay. Every time na nagkakaroon tayo ng correction, nawawala yung kulay. Dito, na-detect niya, ang problem po natin yung second district at saka yung Quezon City. Though dito tayo nagkaroon ng mali, pero pwede natin basahin dito yung remark as guide na we're referring to the district, not a province or a Quezon City, and yet ang nakalagay na region natin is in Cordillera. So with that, makikita natin dito na ito nga naman nakalagay dito sa ano natin is Quezon City tapos with second district, and yet ang nakaselect sa atin sa region is Cordillera. So i-correct natin yan. Doon tayo sa may choices. Punta tayo sa may region. Ito. Lagyan na natin yung kanina, yung National Capital Region, NCR. And then paste natin dito. Ayan. Tapos itama na rin na po natin lahat dahil na-detect niya rin to na mali po yan na dapat 1215 tapos 1990. Tapos ito dapat ito ay N, tapos ito ay dapat no. Try natin yan, tignan natin kung finally na validate ko na po lahat. Ayun, ang nangyari po dito kasi, wait, nagkamali lang po ako ng copy ng region na punta sa may province, sorry po, i-correct natin. So yung National Capital Region dapat ito, nasa may region po siya dapat. Nandito na sa may province natin is yung from Quezon City. Dito po, hanapin lang natin si Quezon City dito kasi meron tayong code. Dahil NCR, ito po dito sa second district, ito po yon. Ilagay natin sa may template dito. And then yung municipality, check natin dito sa may municipality. Meron din tayo dito yung Quezon City. Akit lang tayo ng konti. Nakikita na dito sa Quezon City. Akit lang tayo ng konti. Quezon City. Yan, so I'm sure pamilya naman kayo sa mga ano ninyo, sa mga LGU yung exact malapit na sa dahil lang po. Hanapin lang natin ng konti. Quezon City, Paguran, nasa...
Hindi na dapat yun eh.
Ayun na po ba yun kanina? Baba ko lang po konti no, kung kaninang Quezon City, medyo marami po kasi talaga natin kaya anyway, kapag nag-aan naman kayo kung ano yung nakaselect ninyo tulad kanina nag-appear, it's just that nag-browse ako pataas, kaya medyo Capital, Sigala, wait lang, alam ko nasan dito siya sa medyo taas ng konti. In the middle lang, ayun na yata. Lumpas na yata ako sa main, for a while lang po, Quezon City lang po hanapin natin dito. Sa Langga.
Control F na lang.
Pwede pa, no? Ayan, Quezon. Ayan po, ito. Thank you po. Close na natin. Ayan, punta tayo sa may baseline template po natin. Lagay na po natin dito. Ayan, then check na po natin. Baka okay na po yung... And then validate form, then run natin. So, ito na lang. I think N lang yata dito. Nakalagay sa may options or none yata yung nakalagay. Wait lang po. None. Instead of no, validate po natin. Look, as you can see, no, every time na nag-ano tayo, ayun, kung mapapansin niyo, wala na rin po yung, meron pa tayo dito na isa pa sa adverse event, yun na lang natitirang remarks dito. So, nakalagay dito, I think nakalagay dun sa options natin. So, validate ulit natin. So, ayun, so as you can see successfully, no, using the macros, it is parang napaka-advantage niya at your end, nalalaman na natin kung ano yung mga incorrect. Then save natin, then upload natin. Yan, save as natin, dali natin doon sa may document ulit para makita natin successfully ma-upload natin siya sa may, dalhin ko sa may document, pangalanan ko siya, lagyan ko din siya ng today para lang maging unique. Yung natin, then stop sharing ako. Balik tayo sa platform natin sa baseline list and upload natin siya rito. And then again, you have to put your email, then browse, look for your file. So ang natin, itong with macros, template today, ito with macros. Yan po yung template natin, then submit natin. Ayan po, so refresh natin dahil in progress po siya. So ayun po, makikita po natin dito, pass 1, failed 0, successfully uploaded na po natin yung with offline validation natin. And etong VAS LL correction, ito po yung kanina sa continuation ni Sir Dave. I-download po natin yung template. Pag dinownload po natin yung template, yung kanina pong na-identify na incorrect na i-correct po natin, then open ko po ito, na-download natin na template. stop po yung sharing para makita natin yung na-download na template sa submission naman po ng corrected natin. Input na correction natin doon sa may incorrect input doon sa may VaxCert natin kanina. So, kung nakikita nyo na po ngayon, yung nasa screen, ito po yung template na kailangan ni Sir Dave para mai-submit po sa baseline list, yung corrected record po ni vaccine po. So, punta tayo sa may template. Kung mapapansin niyo kanina, pinakita ni Sir Dave kanina sa may meron din yung purpose at saka yung etong purpose at saka yung hash ID. Ito na po yon sa template natin. So yung unique identifier will same with the hash ID and at the same time yung purpose natin kung bakit natin kailangan mag-submit. Doon sa may corrected, ano yung na-correct natin doon or for the correction. So it depends kung ano pilalagay yung remarks dito. Then pag nailagay nyo na po yan, i-upload ninyo ulit. Ayan. Stop tayo dito. And then, balik tayo sa may baseline list. And then, i-upload lang po natin. So, I think that's all for the baseline list.
Thank you, Sir Dario. I think meron kaninang nakapark na question. They were asking if you could fix kasi nag-error daw po yung VAS upload.
Ano po yung error na na-identify nila? Kasi there are two ways naman. Nakikita nila sa remarks kung ano error. Tapos, i-correct nila kung masterless po yun or gamitan nila ng validation ng offline with macros po. Ano po kayo error doon?
If I may, Sir Christian, if I may just call on yung nag-comment kanina po regarding that.
Noted po, Miss Moninga. Napin ko lang po saglit.
Christian?
Yes
si Miss
po.
April yata yun, no? Yung ating question kanina was from Masantol, RHU. Pwede
Ay,
po
okay
ba
po.
paki-elaborate po from Masantol, RHU, yung inyong question po? Para po matugunan ng ating mga resource speakers ang inyong query. Can we call on RHU Masantol para po mag-on ang inyong microphone, sir? Regarding yung question kanina, pakiayos po sana yung format ng DICT kasi lagi po may error kapag nag-upload yung VAS.
Hello po, good morning po.
Yes po.
So, kapag po nag-upload po kami ng VAS, sa uploading na po, lagi pong namin, yung meron silang apostrophe sa birth date at saka po sa may date. Lagi po namin ini-edit yun. Lagi na po yung bumili kapag upload na po.
Yung common mistakes po kung bakit po natin na-encounter yung may problem po about the apostrophe. Though meron po tayong alternative solution doon, yung sa delimited po or kaya i-off natin yung ganito po yan. Actually, nakaano po yan sa may setting date po ng unit. Meaning to say, may mga LGU po na na-download nila yung template and then successfully nakapag-upload sila previously and then at the same time, pag mag-re-upload sila, ginagamit ulit nila yung same template po. So parang nag-recycle ng templates. So with that, every time we're going to upload, we have to download the template para we can get yung mostly updated template po from the system, from the platform, bago tayo ulit mag-transfer ulit ng records natin doon sa template, bago natin i-upload. Now, to avoid yung mga apostrophe na po yan, better po, gamitin nyo na lang po yung with offline validation kasi meron na po siyang macros doon. Pinakita ko naman po kung paano po i-validate yung master list po natin with the use of macros. So as early, makikita nyo na po yun at hand na bago po kayo mag-upload, na i-correct nyo na po yung mga incorrect input po, especially sa apostrophe dahil kasama na po siya doon sa may macros. Nakita nyo po yung kanina na aside from validation form, meron po din yung with apostrophe kasi yung pina-identify ni template. Ang reason nga po, dahil sa date na settings natin, yung iba naka-month, day, year lang, na 2 digit yung year o kaya 1 digit yung month. Sa setting date po natin, dapat month, day, year. Dapat yung mga IT natin, may inform natin na lahat ng unit natin na ginagamit, pakiset na po yung setting date niya ng standard na month, day, tapos 4 na digit po na year para maiwasan po natin yung apostrophe. Ganun po yun, ma'am. Ngayon, kung nasa template nyo po ngayon, na yun nga po yung current problem ninyo, I suggest po, gamitin nyo po yung with macros po para makikita nyo na po bago nyo ma-upload kung alam niyo may apostrophe pa rin po bang problem or more or less wala na po yan dahil yung with macros, 100% working po siya. Dahil kung hindi naman po, ganito po mangyayari. Pwede nyo mo, like kunyari, hindi po kayo gagamit ng with validation po, i-share ko lang po yung screen. Sana nakikita nyo po. Dahil normally, nasa may date po yun eh. Nandito po sa date ng problem ng mga apostrophe natin. Punta tayo sa may date. Ito po sa mga, normally sa mga birth date po yun na hanapin natin birth date dito. Suffix. Nandito natin. Yung contact number natin dapat po 8 to 11 digit po talaga and start with 0 from 9. Yung common number po na natin na input natin. Like dito po, yung iba ginagawa po nila or nakaselect po yan, pupunta po sa may data, hindi ko lang po
Yes, sir, alam na po namin, ginaganyan po namin kapag nagaganyan. Ang gusto lang po namin sabihin is, hindi po ba pwede na kapag nag-input ka na ng data, as it is na po yun, tapos i-upload na. Hindi po, hindi yung pag makikita mo na meron pa rin na mali, kahit na ganun.
Apo. Ang nangyari po kasi ma'am, yung template po actually naka-design po sa atin na gano'n na po, okay na po siya. Nangyayari po nun, iba po yung setting ng date ng ginagamit natin na device. So if you can set the setting of ng device po ninyo, yung date, okay na po yun. So with that, siguro po yung with macros na lang po ang natin, no, ang gamitin niyo po with validation ng macros na lang po ang gamitin niyo para as early po nakikita niyo doon kung yung pa rin yung problem na i-correct niyo na po, nababalidate niyo na po as early. Ganun na lang po, ma'am. Dahil yung error niyo po, ma'am, di ba current po yan? So,
yung sa contact number naman po, sir, yung iba po, wala silang contact number. Kapag po hindi namin binigyan ng contact number, magiging reason po yun ng pag-mistake niya. So, yung sabihin na 0000
opo.
Okay lang po ba yun?
Ang alam ko po required po ang ang mobile number, but if ever po walang mobile number, it's up to the LGU na kayo po mag-decide kung anong representation ang ilalagay niyo po doon. But as para sa inyo po as a trainer, we always require po lahat ng mga nagiging participants namin, if possible po dapat po talaga may contact number. Kasi isa din po yun sa means of communications nila, like kapag nag-early register sila, yung kino-communicate naman po ng mga LGU yan, yung mga nag-applicant po natin. So talagang required po talaga ang mobile number. Pero kung wala nga po, depende na po sa LGU kung ano po yung decision ninyo, kung anong representation ang gagamitin ninyo as part of compliance lang po sa template natin na meron dapat siyang, kasi sa required field na po ngayon. Dati hindi, ngayon po required na po siya. Meaning to say hindi po siya pwedeng blanco.
Sir Dario, this is Ethel po. Sundutan ko lang po sa papag-usapan po yung contact numbers. Meron lang po tanong, how about contact numbers using landlines po kaya?
Opo, 8 digit po to 11 po ang acceptable po doon. 8 digit po to 11. Yung 8 digit po for the landline po yun. Dahil di ba landline natin ngayon meron ng 8 yata na number sa una. Dati 7 digit lang. Di ba po? Ngayon, 8 digit po. Kaya minimum po 8 to 11. Acceptable po doon yung landline. Dati okay po, di ba, 7 digit. Yun po. Tapos, yun po. Sige po.
Bali, landline number.
Opo.
Meron pa pong mga katanungan po regarding po dito sa none po ba or null ilalagay sa mga walang middle name?
None. N-O-N-E po. Opo. Doon po sa template, meron po tayo sa first sheet na instruction doon. Hindi ko lang gano'n na-elaborate. Pero if we're going to observe, meron po tayong guidelines po doon just to guide yung mga LGU natin. But normally po, N-O-N-E sa mga wala pong data po. Hindi po null. N-U-L, hindi po yun. Anyway, magmamark po yung kapag binalidate natin, in-upload natin, magmamark po yun sa remarks para ma-correct natin yung null into none.
Okay po. Bali, another question po. How about po yung middle name? Naka-encounter po kami 3 times na po, 1 letter po yung middle name. Nag-fail po kasi kapag sinesend na. Kaya nilalagyan na lang po namin only sa middle name kahit po sa birth cert, 1 letter lang po talaga.
Normally po, no, hindi po siya middle initial talaga. Talagang, as we all know, pag middle name po talaga, it's more than one letter po. It's more than one character. But meron nga pa palang ganyan na encounter. Before po, at least 2 letter dati na nagkaroon ng problem about the 2 letters. Pero updated na po yung template natin. Like yung mga apelido na C, na SY, o kaya TY. Acceptable na po siya ngayon. Since ngayon ko lang po na, na meron pala talagang middle name na dapat, it's more than one character na nagkataon, isa lang talaga siya. So siguro as of now, pwede natin I'll take note of that para ma-erase ko din sa mga kasamahan namin or sa dev po or sa heads po namin or sa manager po namin. But for now, as alternative, siguro, hindi ko lang po kung tatanggapin ninyo kasi pinaka-safest po yung period. Para lang po maging 2 character siya, pinaka-safest po yung period, para lang, hindi pa tatanggapin ng space eh. But with that, sige po, I'll take note po yan that i-erase po natin dahil ang middle name nga po is supposed to be more than 1 character. But sad to say, no, meron talagang mga tao pala na isa lang palang letra ang middle name nila. So sige po, natin. Dahil sa template po natin, hindi ko pa po na-try kasi ng isang letra eh. Pero kung gusto niyo po, pwede natin subukan para masiguro po natin if etong natin is, eto po ulit, share ko ulit, yung may data na pang isi-share ko para makita na natin, no, as early. Yung isang letra, baka nag-update naman po yung natin. So, kunin ko po yung, eto yung kanina, balikan natin yung kanina. Nagkataon po dito, ginamit ko, eto po, si C, gawin ko po itong isang letra lang po. Yan po ba yung, ganyan po, no? Tama po ba? Yung tanong nyo po, i-validate natin kung tatanggapin po yan. Ayan, andito na po yung annotations para sa mga apostrophe na sa may macros na rin po siya. And then, ilan po natin. Ito po, hindi po talaga tinatanggap ang isang letra. Pero kung sabi ko, pinaka-safest so far, but don't worry, we will inform our heads po para ma-attend to po ito. Pero pagka naglagay po tayo ng period po doon as alternative lang po for now, though, hindi ko naman siya ina-advise, no? Parang period kasi is the pinaka-safe po yung period. Though, ito nga po, ayaw na po tanggapin. Dahil dati, yung period tinatanggap po sa 2 character. Dahil yung period lang ang hindi kasama doon sa mga restrictions, sa mga inputs. Sa ngayon, so far, wala pa po. But thank you po, at least na i-raise niyo po yan para ma-note po namin at ma-erase namin sa taas.
Thank you po. Another question lang po. Balikan ko po yung about the contact number, sir, para we could move on with another topic po siguro.
Okay.
How about po kasi minsan daw po walang contact number or cellphone yung mga nagpapavaccine. Kahit daw po sabihin nilang required yun sa ating data, wala daw po talagang maibigay yung tao na contact number. So how do we address it? At meron po kayang generic number na pwede ilagay yung LGUs for this, sir? Yun po yung kanilang tanong.
Opo, kanina, no, do require siya, pero pag may mga wala po talaga, siguro it's up to the LGU na lang po to decide kung ano yung representation na number na ilalagay nila doon. It can be a contact number of the LGU na lang then to represent yung number nung applicant natin, or even yung mga kamag-anak kung sino man na pwede magamit lang as po doon, input natin. Dahil hindi po talaga tatanggapin ng walang mobile number. But with that, sinasabi ko nga, i-raise po na sa LGU na kung ano po yung mga pinaka-alternative po para ma-input po natin successfully yung record po ni vaccine. Yun lang po so far ang masasabi ko po.
Thank you. Another question po. Actually, it's a manifestation. Ang sabi po from our Facebook page kay Ma'am Jasmine Maninang Bartolo, sabi po niya, it would be a big help if a user's manual is available for the LGU users po. Meron po kaya ang DICT na maibibigay na user's manual, sir?
Yes po, meron po available po. Request lang po kayo sa DICT. Meron po tayong manual available po.
Sir, can we request po as part of the Secretariat na lang siguro dun sa mga materials na ibibigay from Margot kanina, if we could put it also in OneDrive para po we could disseminate it to our LGUs na rin.
Sige po, I'll inform si Sir Jello, one of our heads po, sige po, or our Sir Dex, our heads, or Ma'am M's Panganiban po, referring to that.
Thank you po, Sir Dario. And so, Miss Ethel and Sir Dario, we can siguro mag-proceed na po muna tayo sa iba pong discussion para maka-ungus tayo, kumbaga, para maka-move tayo sa iba pang madidiscuss natin. Since it's already 11:36 AM na po,
yes,
para po magbibigay pa naman po kami ng time para sa open forum para po sa other questions and inquiries po ng ating mga kasamahan po.
Apo.
Okay po.
Dave, can you present your screen now?
Okay.
Thank you po.
Thank you, Sir Dario from our Dream Team.
Thank you po. Shoutout po sa team ko, Sir Dex, Miss M, Sir Norman, tsaka Sir Ben, at tsaka Miss Althea.
Alright. Thank you, Sir Dario. So, just for the continuation po nung pag-upload ng corrected entry natin doon sa bus line list uploader. So once na-upload na po natin yon, we go back to the retool and then we have to update yung status ng request. So we have different statuses po here, no? Open, validating, rejected, updated, and closed. The validating po is like na in the process na po kayo ng validation. Rejected means, say for example, duplicate yung request o kaya hindi naman legitimate yung card, hindi galing sa LGU yung card na in-upload, mali yung ID na in-upload, or may kulang sa information, no, based on LGUs records, hindi pa po talaga siya fully vaccinated, then you can reject the request. Just select rejected, and then it's important to place the reason for rejection, no, doon sa ating remarks section. Now, going back doon sa pag-upload ng corrected entry sa line list, we have to update the status to updated. So I've selected updated here and just click update. Because for this po, no, the contact center has the visibility as well on the status of the request. And they're the ones kasi po extracting the request that already updated, and they will be the one to notify the vaccine requestor na okay na yung request nila, and then they can go to the portal again to generate for the certificate. So it's important to update the status to updated. Now, once the contact center po na notify na sila requestor, then they will have to tag it to close. So sila contact center po yung may responsibility to close the request. Not unless sila LGU po yung mismong nag-notify doon sa vaccine requestor na okay na yung request nila, then the LGU will be the one to update the status to close. Okay? So now, once na-update na po, na-upload yung corrected entries to sa fast line list, kinabukasan pa po yun magre-reflect, no, sa database. So we have a 12 midnight refresh daily. So kung ano po yung in-upload nyo today, bukas pa po yun magre-reflect yung corrected entries. Okay? And now, in terms of access po, no, we will be giving access to the retool for each of the rectifiers doon sa LGU nyo, no. Some of you may already receive yung credentials to the retool, and you can check that if you're able to log into the application. So what you're going to see here in the submitted request section, and kung ano yung masisearch nyo dito sa line list record, is only the request coming from the people na vaccinate doon sa inyong area or LGU. And also, ang masisearch nyo lang is yung vaccination records of your own LGU. Hindi nyo masisearch yung records na in-upload ng other LGU po, okay? Alright. And in terms of reference materials po, you may have also received, no, a communication. Meron po tayong toolkit which we will be sharing as well later on and showing. May toolkit po for the VaxCert, wherein nandun po yung lahat ng reference materials natin, including yung user manual for the tool, and also yung mga training videos and materials. Okay, so that's it po. I'll now turn over the floor to Ms. April to discuss the other topics po. Thank you.
Can you continue sharing the slide, Dave? I'll
Okay.
take on the other items. Dave, pa-share ng screen.
Yan, thank you po, Sir Dave. And now, si Miss April na po.
Yeah.
April Ann.
Yes po. Dave, present mode, please. Okay. So, as mentioned by Yusek John kanina, no, we did the soft launch para ma-discover natin kung ano yung mga possible errors na ma-discover din most probably ng ating ibang regions or LGUs. So we're sharing to you yung mga non-obvious mistakes na na-discover namin during the beta test, expanded validation, as well as nung soft launch. So ang intent nito is para malaman ninyo po at mapaghandaan nyo din na gaya ng sinabi kanina, we will be expecting that there will be errors po or no record found cases or incorrect details sa ating mga line list records. So yung most common po na pervasive na issue is yung inconsistent details po in first and second dose. So dinemo na po ni Dave kanina to para ma-visualize nyo. So for example, sa first name niya, tsaka first record niya, tsaka sa second record, magkaiba yung birthday. Pwedeng hindi kompleto yung first name niya sa first kumpara sa second dose. Yung gender magkaiba, yung suffix magkaiba. So we demoed that earlier. Tapos may mga na-encounter din po yung ibang nag-participate sa beta test na yung blank fields po in the vaccination record. So by now, dapat wala na to masyado. Kasi as we did yung beta test, meron din ginawa po dun sa VAS LL na hindi na pwede, may mga controls na po nilagay sa ating VAS line list template na dapat hindi blanco, etc. And then one or both records ng vaccination not yet uploaded in VIMS database. So this is pertaining to dun sa mga backlogs. So na-delay kunyari, for example, na-delay po yung pag-upload natin sa central database. So definitely, the VaxCert portal will not be able to get or pull out the record. And then encoding errors in the line list. So kanina, dinemo din po ni Dave, pwedeng nag-switch or nag-flip yung month and date. And then details incorrectly mapped to the line list. So may mga nakita po kaming ganito, no? Yung second name na i-map dun sa middle name, kaya hindi mahanap kapag ka nagre-request na ng certificate. Now, further mistakes no na discovered during the expanded validation as well as sa soft launch, may mga LGUs po na may blank yung batch lot number. While this is not being used to as a search record po no para ma-pull out yung details para makapag-generate ng certificate. Pagdating sa certificate po mismo, meron kasing batch lot number under the vaccination details na portion na pinapakita po yung lot number. So magiging hindi po maganda na blanco po yun kapag ka-print nung mismong nag-request. And then yung vaccine event tagging, this has been demoed by Dave as well dun sa isang sample niya kanina. Yung first dose and second dose na tagging, yung first dose yes, second dose no. So ingat po tayo dun or let's be cautious about that particular na error. And then may mga LGUs din po na siguro gumagamit po ng their own system, yung birthday na auto-generate, therefore ang mga nalalagay 1800, 1900, 1901. So ito mga kailangan ayusin natin. And then yung misspelled names, so pwedeng Willie Boy yung kanina na Willie Boy at tapos Willie lang yung kabila. Tapos for example, myself, my name is April Ann. Yung Ann ko dun sa first dose may E, tapos yung Ann ko sa second dose walang E. So, ayun. Kailangan po consistent po yung mga details na yon. And then the most recent, and this is being addressed from our end, is the blank bakuna center name. Yung blank bakuna center name po, nakakabit po yan sa CBCR code na nagiging visible po sa ating mga LGUs. If you're not using a valid CBCR code, magiging error po yan at magno-no record found po sa ating VaxCertPH portal. Okay, so we will be sharing po no itong slide na to so that you can get ready as we roll out po sa respective regions nyo or sa respective LGUs. Next slide please. Okay, LGU readiness po no. So the main intent dito is for our participants here to be ready as we roll out the VaxCertPH portal in your respective areas. So basically, sa LGU readiness, we are looking at 3 items. One is the workforce readiness. So ibig sabihin po, nakapag-training po yung tao, nabigyan po natin siya ng credential sa validation tool, and at the same time, nabigyan po natin siya ng link, no? Yung toolkit na nabanggit po ni Dave kanina. And through our dream team no and EBIS colleagues, sila yung tumutulong mag-disseminate ng training as well as yung toolkit natin. So we continue to update the toolkit as we see fit. Okay? Yung second one is the technical and operational readiness. So what is this? So it's basically yung readiness po ng booth. So meron ng location yung booth, yung required na mga equipments that should be in the booth should already be set up. Yon. And then the third one is the data readiness. So data readiness, it's a reality. There are errors. and we continue to improve and help na maiwasan po, no? But from the side ng LGU, siguro yung sasabihin namin is let's be more mindful na dapat consistent and accurate as well as timely yung pag-update po or pag-upload natin ng ating line list records sa central database. Next slide, please. So I've discussed this, no? So we have a checklist po doon sa toolkit, no? So diniscuss or nilagay po namin lahat ng mga kailangan na items para maging ready po yung ating LGUs. So first is the booth. Yung pangalawa po is yung workforce or yung people natin. So basically, there are 3 main responsibilities ng ating mga resources na i-assign sa booth. One is to provide assistance on the generation of our certificate to booth goers, no? So pag may lola, for example, na syempre hindi naman teki-teki si lola, pupunta siya sa booth, gusto niya paki-generate yung ano, so we will provide assistance to our constituents. Now, yung second item is assist in the validation and rectification of incorrect record. So this is the second main responsibility of our LGU assigned resources. Diniscuss po kanina ni Dave kung paano gamitin yung validation tool po natin to facilitate yung validation and rectification process. And number 3 is, of course, yung coordination with contact center. Especially kapag kunyari may nag-submit ng request for update ng kanilang record, tapos 48 hours po kasi yung lead time or turnaround time na sinasabi natin. Tapos magpa-follow up yung tao na nag-request, no, through the contact center. So contact center will be tapping yung ating LGU, the relevant LGUs, no, for that particular request, and then following up on the status of that particular request. So those are the 3 key responsibilities of the LGU assigned resources. Next slide, please. Okay, and lastly, yung as part of the technical and operational readiness, yung mga hardware po or mga equipments na kailangan nating ipaghandaan. Okay, so sa booth po, we are, of course, yung internet connection, and then yung desktops and laptops. We strongly recommend desktop or laptop, hindi tablet. Why? Because you will be navigating various tools. So, mas mahirap po sa side ng ating LGU assigned resources pag medyo mas maliit po yung monitor and naka-tablet lang. Mas maganda pa rin yung merong mouse or yung may keyboard, ganyan. Mas madaling mas magpa-facilitate siya ng faster turnaround time in validating and rectifying the records para ma-improve po yung average handling time natin. Of course, printer. Ang primary purpose po ng printer is kapag may nag-walk-in sa LGU and ask for assistance in their digital vaccination certificate, at least we can provide them with a printed copy. Okay? And then telephone para sa communication. And photo capturing device just in case no record found po. So ito, pwede naman yung camera lang ng phone. So just in case no record found po yung tao, we will have to, as part of ng documentation, we will have to help them, no? Submit yung no record found case. Okay? Next item, please. Sige. Before I go into that, Dave, let's just quickly show yung toolkit para sa ating respective LGUs as part of their para ma-facilitate yung familiarization of the process, lahat ng videos, etc. So, this is available to everyone na makatanggap po ng link, no? So, meron tayo dito at toolkit. So, nandito na po yung LGU Readiness checklist na binanggit natin kanina. You can simply go into this link and then see kung ano pa ba yung kailangan kong i-ready from an LGU perspective, no? So, credentials registration form para dun sa ating validation tool. So, pag nag-request ka dyan, we will be able to provide you with the credentials. At the same time, we also continuously call yung mga tao, no? So, meron po dyan kailangan i-fill out. Next item, pababa ka lang, Dave. And then, yung deployment journey po natin, and then baba, we also have yung mga materials na ginamit natin during the kick-off or orientation with all the regions. And then, yung LGU training, nandito po lahat yung demo videos, presentation decks, user manuals, kung kailangan nyo ng test environment, kailangan nyo ng test data, so meron po lahat dito. And then as we receive mga updates coming from our marketing, si Ma'am Margo po kanina from T3, we also incorporate here para updated po ang ating LGUs. And then go live, ayan. So we have the user manuals here, yung VAS uploader po natin, frequently asked questions, yung production po na reporting and validation tool is also here. The official site of the VaxCertPH is also here. Ayan, so go down. Okay, so we have the support channel po, no? VaxCertPH has a separate contact center. So, yung VAS line list upload po natin, pinakita po ni Sir Dario kung ano yung contact center para ma-facilitate or ma-manage lang po yung volume. So, we have a separate contact center for the VaxCertPH. So, that's vaxcertsupport@doh.gov.ph, and this is the hotline number. Okay? And then, and some other items po, no, other materials that may be relevant for your, as you execute your responsibilities. Yun. So, going back lang dun sa main slide, I'll be answering yung questions later po para ma-cover natin yung mga other topics. Okay. So, present mode, please. Okay. So, nabanggit po namin the soft launch, no, is intended to be for NCR and Baguio. Tapos, focusing on international travelers, no, whether OFWs or mga approved na magta-travel internationally. However, syempre meron po tayong mga communications din sa social media and mainstream media. So, ang nangyari, may mga nakaalam. So, even the other regions, no, or LGUs, nag-try na din po sila. So, we are showing here lang po, this is the LGU Readiness. So, I'll go back. Sorry. Apologies. So, for the LGU Readiness, so we have asked the help, no, of our DILG through the mga field officers to track yung readiness po ng respective LGUs, of their respective LGUs din. So, ang minomonitor po natin as part ng critical requirement for the rollout is yung dapat nakapag-attend na po under the third column, Dave. Under the third column, yung nakapag-attend na nung kick-off at end-user training. So, we're showing here po kung ano yung rate based on the number of LGUs. So, say for example, si Aurora, meron a total of 10, ay 8 na LGUs sa kanya. So, 12.5% dun sa LGUs, yung nakapag-attend na po dun sa training, and so on and so forth. So, I think the key message here is, let's attend po yung training and user training na kinokonduct po ng ating dream team. And then, yung second item po is yung submission of readiness checklist po, no? So, I have shown yung toolkit. Makikita nyo doon kung ano yung kailangan yung paghandaan. And then, once you're done, you can submit po yung compliance nyo of the readiness checklist so that we can make sure na this particular LGU is ready, no? And then, number of yung designated booth, no? And location as well as the needed equipments or resources. So, i-identify po natin, sabihan nyo po yung mga field officers po ninyo, i-inform nyo po sila, yung DILG field officers, kung okay na po kayo sa inyong booth at saka ready na yung mga required resources. And then, data readiness, Dave, this came from, ano nga ulit?
Doon po sa ating extract ng mga
okay. Which we will be discussing later, no? Okay.
Yes,
and then, yung others po, no, these are the things that we also need to monitor from an LGU standpoint. So, yung coordinators po, kanino po kami pwedeng mag-coordinate just in case meron kaming ibababa or ikakascade, or just in case yung coordinator may kailangan i-akyat din po sa amin or i-coordinate sa amin na concern or issue, etc. And then, non-disclosure agreement for the LGUs dahil we are processing no mga private information. And then, this one is if as necessary, no, kung gusto ng LGUs to have supplemental campaign materials, please let your DILG field coordinator, field officers know kung may mga gusto kayong gawin na initiatives pertaining to this. Okay, so as of, this is for Region 3. And then we also received yung tracking po na ginawa ng Region 4A. So ito naman po yung kanilang statistics. So again, kung meron pong updates dito sa readiness po ninyo, please coordinate right away to your respective DILG field officers. Thank you. Next item, please. Okay. So as promised, and the whole intent of the soft launch, is para makita natin ang mga possible challenges as we progress to the full rollout. Now we are presenting to you yung mga challenges and best practices which we have noted during the soft launch. This is for our respective LGUs na maging ready. Okay? So, just a quick statistics po as to where we are from the time that we soft launched yung ating VaxCertPH last September 6. So, this is a nationwide statistics. So, ibig sabihin, LGU, NCR, Baguio, and the rest of the region na nakapag-participate yung mga tao. So as of September 17, we have a total of 184,783 total applications dun sa VaxCert portal. Ibig sabihin, nag-request at nag-try mag-generate ng kanilang vaccination certificate. So 61% po ang ating success rate, or that's a total of 112,000 successfully generated certificate. Meanwhile, we have a fail rate of 39%. What does 39% mean? Ito po yung 69,000 na no record found cases at saka 2,900 na incorrect record details. And out of this, meron pa tayong open items na 67,891. So, mapapansin nyo po dito sa open items, marami po yung beyond 48 hours. Ibig sabihin, hindi pa nako-close ng respective LGUs na dapat mag-close nito. So, this is nationwide statistics, no? Okay. Now, given yung long outstanding, yung more than 48 hours na hindi pa nako-correct yung kanilang details, and you will be, and we are presenting this para mapaghandaan po ninyo. Okay? So, after 48 hours, yung mga tao, mag-start na yan magtawag. Kasi sinabihan sila na, mahahanda to after 48, 72 hours. So, maghahanap na yan, magta-try na ulit yan. So, ang mangyayari, they will call the contact center, no? So, asking for follow-up. So, mapapansin nyo po dito, in the email category, 582. This is for, September 17 na stats lang po to. So, 582 po yung main driver ng emails asking for follow-up. Same din po dun sa call drivers natin, 118. So, very consistent, no? Yung call driver, both in the email category and in the call category. Now, we are just reiterating that we have a separate support channel, which is the VaxCert support at doh.gov.ph, and we have our own hotline. Tapos, just press 5 para ma-prioritize kayo because kayo ay from LGU. Okay? Okay. So, given yung lumalaki na long outstanding open items, mga no record found cases na hindi nasasara. So, what we did is to do a one-on-one session with 8 NCR LGUs as of September 16. Actually, naging 11 na po na NCR LGUs as of September 17 po yung mga nakausap namin. Para, number 1, to understand why lumalaki yung no record found na open na hindi pa nila nasasara or na nare-rectify. Okay? And ito yung mga bottlenecks and challenges. So again, we are presenting this para mapaghandaan po ninyo. So, meron po nagsabi na na-late sila ng pag-put up ng dedicated team. So para po dito sa next wave of in-scope LGUs na mag-roll out next week, please make sure po na ma-identify na po natin yung mga tao who will be dedicated to do the rectification. Okay? And then for the assigned resources daw, not fully dedicated, parang may iba pa silang ginagawa. So, makakatagal nga naman po yun ng turnaround time in terms of closing, no, ng ating open items for rectification. And then, well, this is a known issue. It's a reality. Mayroong mga data issues. May nag-raise na pwedeng because of system migration or because of data encoding errors. So by now, I know you have realized and you know already na ma-expect nyo po to sa inyong respective LGUs. And then pending submission of line list record. So ibig sabihin, may nag-request po na paki-update yung record ko or hindi ko mahanap yung record ko, no record found case po siya. So iko-contact pa po ng LGU yung vaccination site para kuhanin sa kanila yung line list record. So and it requires longer turnaround time or average handling time for them para ma-close po yung particular item. Now, the knowledge and skills gap po in the rectification process. So, siguro nung nag-conduct ng end-user training, hindi masyadong nag-grasp, no? Yung extent ng responsibility na kailangan gawin or yung extent nung kailangan nilang gawin, no? Sa booth. And as necessary, we can conduct po a retraining kapag kakailangan, no? Pero ang ask po namin is for those na hindi pa attend ng training, please attend the trainings conducted by our Dream Team colleagues. And then yung last item which actually can be a reality is may mga nag-COVID na positive, so therefore nawalan ng tao yung booth nila. Kaya, so these are the things, no, common items po na ni-raise during our one-on-one sessions. Kaya long outstanding po yung kanilang open items. And hopefully, for this next batch or next wave of LGUs na magro-roll out po ng VaxCertPH, pinakita na po namin, I hope na ma-address po natin yung iba dito, yung kaya nating i-address, like putting up a dedicated team and making sure na serious tayo sa pag-attend sa training na kinokonduct po ng Dream Team para mas madali po yung adoption ng ating LGUs na magro-roll out. So yung suggested action items natin dito, no, so is to really identify, no, a dedicated set of resources who will be focusing on the rectification. Okay? Given the 39% na fail rate based on the soft launch, i-expect po natin, ihanda na po natin na ganun din most likely ang inyong magiging fail rate. And therefore, alamin na natin kung 39, this is the number of vaccinated individuals dito sa aking LGU. And 39% possibly magiging fail rate ko yan. Ilang tao yung kailangan kong ihanda to be dedicated for the rectification process. And para ma-address lang yung pag may na-quarantine, for example, identify lang po a backup resource para hindi mawalan ng tao or may mag-continue pa rin sa rectification just in case your main resource will go on quarantine. And then, again, na-mention ko, if in the future, if in the next 2 weeks, kailangan ng retraining or kailangan mag-attend ulit dun sa training na kinokonduct pa ng ating Dream Team, please feel free to reach out to your to the respective coordinators po, no, para makapag-attend po kayo ng training. And then on the backlog, just in case in the future magkaroon kayo ng mga long outstanding items, these are the good practices po na ginawa po ng ating LGUs na nasa soft launch, no? Nag-ramp up po ng workforce yung ibang LGUs doon. And then for a limited time, it's also possible na mag-extend po kayo ng working hours, no? Para lang maubos yung long outstanding item, no? And then adopt best practice of other LGUs. Next slide, please. We will show po, no, here. So this is the best practice from our one-on-one session, yung best practice po ng Marikina. Kasi Marikina was able to zero out yung long outstanding items po nila as of yesterday, no? So what they did actually is to ramp up their capacity. So they increased their capacity para lang ma-zero out yung long outstanding items, and they have this efficient processing strategy para ma-improve po yung kanilang average handling time from 3 to 5 minutes. And they prioritize yung mga long outstanding items para i-correct and i-close. Okay? So these are the specifics po ng ginawa nila, no? They ramp up their workforce from 5 to 14. And then nag-assign po sila talaga ng dedicated resources to do the rectification. Ang ginawa nila, yung mga magwa-walk-in, nag-assign din sila ng separate person doon para to assist na yung mga nagwa-walk-in or booth goers nila. Para habang yung 14 nakadedicate para mag-correct ng mga records na nakasubmit na po dun sa validation tool natin. And then dun sa prioritization strategy po nila, what they do is at the beginning of the day, they download or the request kasi pwede pong i-download yun sa ating yung sa vaccine validation tool na pinakita po ni Dave kanina. And then, ina-arrange po nila yon alphabetically, tinitignan na nila agad. May duplicate request ba? Kasi may mga masyadong excited na mga tao na nag-request na kahapon, magre-request today, magre-request pa ulit bukas. Yon. So, ang ginagawa nila, magre-retain na lang ng isang line item doon, tapos nire-reject na nila yung iba kasi duplicate request naman yon. So, that's what they do. Yung pangalawa pong ginagawa nila is they separate yung request that needs correction and those items na hindi kailangan ng correction. Ano pa yung mga items na hindi kailangan ng correction? Ito yung mga si vaccine mismo, yung nagkamali naman ng input. Tama naman yung line list record, baka nagkamali ng input lang si mas particular vaccine. Now, meron din yung mga needs correction, and ito yung mga tinatag nila na updating. Sorry, updating po yan. Tinatag nila na status is updating. Para pag binigay nila dun sa 14 na tao, yan yung ifo-focus ng tao na yon. Okay? Next slide, please. Okay, so again, nag-soft launch po tayo, NCR and Baguio, no? Pero may mga ibang regions talaga na nakipag-participate because they've known the VaxCertPH din sa social media as well as the mainstream media. Now, for regions 3, 4A, Cebu, and Davao, nakapagtala po tayo ng a total of 50,000 total applicants received sa mga regions na to. So, ang inyong success rate, no, sa mga nabanggit ko po na regions and province and areas, Cebu and Davao, success rate is 62%. So, and 38% yung fail rate. Hindi yan nagkakalayo po dun sa nationwide na 39%. So, of this 38%, which is a total of the 18,841, meron na po ngayon na 19,000 na naka-pending po. So, 89% of that is beyond 48 hours. This is expected na naka-pending po beyond 48 hours kasi hindi pa naman po naka-launch sa inyong respective LGUs or regions kasi itong VaxCertPH. So, possible na wala pang nakatao or wala pang nagmaman or even wala pang booth na nakahanda po for you. So, yeah, we're just showing this para makita nyo, no? And this is the detail, no? Sila yung mga nag-participate. So, we have detailed out here yung municipalities and cities under Region 3, Region 4A, and then Cebu, and then Davao City, at saka yung rest of the LGUs, no? So, ito po yung total na nag-try po sa inyong respective na areas. So, yung in terms of success rate, no, mapapansin nyo dito, nagre-range po tayo from 40 to 71, 75%, no? So, hindi talaga siya nagkakalayo dun sa nationwide statistics po natin. So, i-expect nyo na po yung 39% ng inyong total vaccinated na full dose, makaka-expect po ng no record found para mapaghandaan niyo po mabuti in terms of number of dedicated resources that you will be assigning for your booth. Okay? Next. Yeah. We'll just quickly show, nabanggit po ni Ma'am Margo kanina, no, yung portal, to show yung demo ng portal. Sige Dave, show the demo, and then I will be skimming through the chat box for the questions. Dave?
In this demo, I will show you how to request the COVID-19 digital vaccination certificate using the VaxCertPH web portal. Open your mobile web browser and go to vaxcert.toh.gov.ph. On the landing page, tap the Continue button to proceed to the next screen. On this page, you will be requested to review and accept the data privacy policy. To read it, simply click on this link. When you're finished, hit the back button to return to the previous screen. At this point, please make sure to have your vaccination card and government-issued ID with you. To proceed to the next step, tick the checkbox to confirm that you have read and agreed to the privacy statement, then select Continue. On the next screen, you will be asked to answer the following questions. Select Yes if you are an international traveler or OFW fully vaccinated in NCR who will be traveling outside the Philippines in the next 2 weeks. On the second question, choose a response concerning your vaccination status. There are two options to choose from, partially or fully vaccinated. Take note that partially vaccinated individuals are not yet qualified to request for the certificate. The third question concerns the time of your final dose. Choose whether it was less than 48 hours ago or more than 48 hours ago. This question is included to account for the lead time between the actual vaccination and uploading the vaccinee's information into the central database. If you have selected partially vaccinated and or less than 48 hours ago, you will receive a message that you will not be able to proceed with your request. You can proceed to the next step if you have selected Yes if traveling abroad, fully vaccinated, and you have received the final dose more than 48 hours ago. Click on Next. You will be prompted to enter your personal information, which includes your name and your birth date. Please enter the information exactly as it appears on your vaccination card. The red asterisk denotes the required fields, which are your last name, first name, and birth date. The middle name is optional, so you may leave it blank. If your name has a suffix, you must also enter it in this section. If your name does not have one, please leave it blank. Click Next after completing the required fields. You will be prompted to provide the dates of your first and second dose vaccination, as well as the municipality or city where you were vaccinated. If you were only given a single dose vaccine like J&J, tick this checkbox and enter the required fields. For demo purposes, we will be using vaccination details for a 2-series vaccine. After you finish filling out all the fields, click the Verify Vaccination Information button. A pop-up screen will appear in order for you to review your entered details. Please make sure that everything is correct before clicking Continue. Another pop-up screen will appear that will display the CAPTCHA code. Type in the code and select Continue. If you were able to arrive at this page, it means that your records are found in the database. Double-check your vaccination details if all information are correct. Once done, select Generate Vaccination Certificate button. The certificate will appear on the screen of your mobile device. Please keep in mind that the certificate will not be saved within the application. Therefore, you will need to download it or take a screenshot. By pressing the Download Certificate button, you will get a PDF copy of your vaccination certificate and save it in your mobile device. Congratulations for generating your digital vaccination certificate, and thank you for using the VaxCertPH portal.
Hello, Hello po, Miss April.
Hello. Yes po.
Sir, we will be sharing as well a demo video on how to request for the submission of no records
I
found.
think, Dave, we can just share na lang the
Okay.
anyway, it's in the toolkit naman.
Okay
You can
po.
share to everyone. We can start po answering na yung questions, Sir Christian.
Yes po, thank you Sir Dave and Miss April. And now we proceed na sa open forum po para sa may mga katanungan po. Together with me is Miss Ethel. Kasama ko po si Miss Ethel at saka si Miss Monet Landicho para po sumagot sa ating makakapag-facilitate sa ating mga katanungan. Thank you po.
Thank you very much, Christian. At this point po, we would like to read the questions po that we have gathered In the interest of time, siguro we have chosen lang yung mga questions na kaya nating masagot. Ano po? Starting off with a question from our FB page from Mr. Paulo Villafane. Ang tanong po is, with this VaxCertPH, Ms. April, is there a need po na mag-issue pa ng vaccination card with serial number? Salamat po.
Yes, at this point po, yes, kailangan pa din natin. Ito po yung LGU vaccine card, ma'am, no? Ang tinutukoy.
Yes, ma'am. Yes,
Okay.
ma'am.
So at this point po, yes, we are still requiring po kasi especially now that when there are no record found cases or incorrect record found cases, we use that LGU vaccine card to validate and verify kung yung ipinapa-rectify is authentic or not.
Okay. So we would advise na
Yeah.
they continue, ma'am, ano po?
Yeah.
With the
Just imagine po, no? Just imagine the LGU vaccine card is your report card, yung grade sa school, yung binibigay, no? Every, Then imagine that the digital vaccination certificate is your pwedeng transcript of record or ano ba yung isa, diploma. Okay? So, ini-issue natin parehas, no? So, let's just use that, yes, na parang diploma po yung ating, diploma or transcript of record po na ini-issue ng registrar ng ating university, no? Yung ating digital vaccination certificate.
All right. Thank you very much, Ma'am April, for your response. Another question po, many cases na different address ang nasa vaccination card compared to the ID presented since people get vaccinated to where they were accommodated. Does it matter po ba? Should the LGU correct it pa po ba? Thank you. This is from Ma'am Candice Ramirez of DILG4A.
Ma'am, I didn't catch the question po. Middle name yung tanong?
Different po yung kanilang address, ma'am, dun sa ID that they presented kasi they are accommodated siguro to other LGUs for the vaccination. So, does it matter po ba daw and should the LGU correct it po ba?
Okay, if it's the residential address, yung tamang residential address po yung ilagay doon. If it's the LGU of vaccination that's inconsistent, so dapat po itama po nila yun. Sorry, I hope I answered that correctly.
So yung home address po or yung residential address ang dapat ang mag-reflect doon, ma'am. Tama po ba?
Ang nagre-reflect po doon sa LGU of vaccinate. So kapag pumunta po sa VaxCertPH portal, VaxCert portal, ang ine-enter po doon is LGU of vaccination.
Okay.
Okay, LGU of vaccination po yung importante, hindi po yung residence kung saang LGU siya. Okay? And then, in the certificate, hindi din naman po natin pinapakita doon yung address. So, I think yung residential address is not relevant at this point for the certificate.
Sige, ma'am. Thank you very much. That was very clear. So, kung saan po nagpabakuna, yun po yung ilalagay na LGU doon sa ating VaxCertPH. Alright, so another question pa po from Cuenca RHU, from Ma'am Rosalie Ramos, regarding po sa unique person ID. Last time po kasi sa training, ang sabi is government-issued ID ang mandatory for the unique person ID portion. However, dun po sa template na instruction tab, primary to use is the LGU-generated number na nilalagay sa Vax card. So ngayon po, medyo confused kami if okay lang po talaga na ang gamitin namin is the number generated by the LGU na nilalagay sa Vax card or sa vaccination card.
May I ask our friends from Dream Team to answer that for us? Sir Dario?
For the unique ID, right now tumatanggap na po siya ng other available ID even if your ID is not a government issued. As long as merong unique reference po na magagamit yung code in the DVAS, acceptable na po siya. So updated na po yung natin, yung ginagamit natin na DVAS. Okay po.
I think the question po, sir, is kung ano yung ilalagay doon, yung reference ID ba na nandoon sa LGU card or yung government-issued ID?
So parang merong options na if ever, mas maganda po, ako as a trainer po, we always sa training namin, we always advise na yung sa government ID po, ang mas, sa akin po, ang mas acceptable at saka convenient na ilagay natin doon.
Sige po. Thank you very much for that response. How do we treat po a requestor requesting multiple times in the site? Ito po ay question from LGU, si Sir Marlo Aguinaldo from Region 3 po.
Okay. I'd like to, kung ano yung site. So kapag VaxCert, yung site where we generate yung certificate, wala pong, kunyari nag-request ako ngayon, no, nakapag-generate ako ng certificate. Tapos bukas gusto ko ulit i-try mag-generate ng certificate. They can always do that po. It's the same certificate na i-issue po ng ating portal. Unless, say for example, nagpabago po siya ng detail, kunyari, nung unang generation niya ng certificate, wala yung middle name. Okay? Magta-travel siya abroad. Gusto niya aligned yung kanyang full name sa passport at saka sa vaccination certificate. So, nag-request siya sa LGU. Paki-rectify naman yung record ko, pakilagay naman yung full middle name. So, the moment na ginawa yun, when the certificate is, pag nag-request po ulit sa portal, it's a new certificate that will be generated, this time, reflecting the middle name. Okay? So, in short, pwede pong, kung gusto nila, pwedeng mag-request many times. Pag natutuwa po sila sa ating VaxCert portal, go lang. And then, kapag po ang tanong naman is, maraming beses nag-request sa isang site, meaning yung validation tool po ng LGU, maganda pong i-adapt natin yung ginagawa ng Marikina. What they do is, they arrange yung mga submitted request on a daily basis, and then tinitignan nila kung sino yung mga duplicate na request. And then itag na po natin as rejected right away yung mga duplicate request. Magtira na lang po tayo ng isang unique, no? Para makapag-focus yung nag-rectify ng record. I hope I answered that correctly.
Yes po. Thank you very much, ma'am. I'll just go on, ma'am, with the next question. From Sir Melvin Pinto, ang sabi po niya, being realistic lang po, looking at this pandemic, medyo matatagalan pa po tayo dito at magkakaroon pa tayo ng booster. Correct me if mali po ako. Pero may chance ba na ang susunod na program ninyo is integrated na sa DIVAS, ang VaxCert, para real-time na ang paglalabas ng VaxCert, like ng process of PhilSys? Pag nagpa-ID ka, may QR code na ibibigay for reference.
Yeah, maganda po yung tanong na yan, and that is the ideal state na gusto nating mangyari. However, ang reality din po natin ngayon is the LGUs upload their records every end of the day. Tama po. Correct me if I'm wrong po, yun po yung latest na alam ko, no? So therefore, pag in-integrate po at gusto mag-generate ng certificate agad, it's not possible because it usually happens the day after pa, after uploading the record. So, sana nakuha ko yung tanong correctly. Anyone from the ICTs here as well na pwedeng mag-add po regarding the comment?
Yes po. Actually, integrated naman siya dahil isa lang naman po yung data warehouse natin. It's just that we're using different platform. Bakit different platform? Kasi iba-iba po ang intention, objectives po. Like sa may VaxCert, ang intention po nun for the digital vaccination certificate. But for the rest po, like yung DIVAS, separate platform po yun. But yung as one po sila lahat, na in just one URL, na connected sila sa lahat. So far, wala pa po tayo sa ganun. Pero sabi nga ni Ma'am April, kanya it's an ideal po, hopefully, kung tatagal pa po at ma-improve na in just one platform, connected na po sila lahat. But right now po, may intention po kasi bawat isang platform kaya hiwa-hiwalay po. But don't worry, isa lang po yung data warehouse natin na lahat po recorded in one repository na we can access lahat po ng mga platform na included dito sa may program natin.
Alright. Somehow related po ito siguro, sir, or parang similar ang nature ng question. Iba pa po ba ang retool site for VaxCert sa retool ng monitoring na vaccine?
Magkaiba po.
Magkaiba. Alright, ito po, medyo magandang tanong po. From Tanawan City Health Office, from Dr. Adele Bautista, ang ating City Health Officer. Is it okay for the LGU to charge minimal VaxCert fee?
Let me ask our Doc Raymond, are you here? I'll answer it initially po, no? But I would like to request our sponsors or stakeholders from the ICT to add. Ang nakalagay po sa RA 11525, it should be free of charge. Yan. Anyone from the ICT can also add to that.
Ayan. So para po na marinig ng lahat, actually it was answered yata ni Sir Jello kanina, but for the information of everyone, so VaxCert.ph is free of charge po. Another question, ito po, medyo offshoot po sa VaxCert. May mga nare-receive po kami kasing mga tawag sa DOH COVID hotline. This is from Ma'am Rose Maritan sa DOH po, kasamahan natin. Kung paano daw po yung mga mag-request for replacement ng vaccination card na wala o kailangan for VaxCert validation. If meron na po kayong standard process in place or posting kung paano mag-request ng replacement ng vaccination card, please send us a copy para po magabayan namin yung mga tumatawag or yung ating mga callers.
I'd like to defer that question to Sir Dario. Will you be able to answer that question po? But from my experience, no, I was in my observation sa isang LGU dito sa NCR, what they're doing is, if na wala, for example, yung LGU vaccine card, they go to dun sa mismong site kung saan sila nagpa-vaccinate and request for a replacement. Meron kasing kailangan na proseso na i-check nila sa line list record ng vac site na yon na itong tao ba na to talagang nakapag-vaccinate dito sa site na to, and therefore they are able to issue a replacement. But in terms of the formal process, maybe Sir Dario can add to that. I think, okay. So, or I can just let the team know that someone is asking for a process for this one.
All right. Thank you very much, Ma'am April Ann. And Christian, siguro, dahil medyo tayo ay kinakapos na ng oras, we will suggest po, Ma'am April, our secretariat po will collect all the questions and we will send a copy po to your office. And baka po meron na pong mga frequently asked questions, and if you could provide answers for feedback so that we could disseminate also itong mga sagot sa mga katanungan nila. So we will just forward the questions, ma'am, to your office if that's okay.
Yes po. Ma'am, I just would like to reiterate yung part ng fee, no? And this can be, siguro you can also bring it up to maybe DILG or sa DICT, yung mga sponsors and stakeholders pa natin doon. But it's really free of charge. And ang main intent po kaya natin ginawang online po ang ating VaxCert portal is for the people, for the vaccinees to leverage on that self-service portal. Wag nating i-encourage sila na pupunta pa sa LGU or dun sa booth. I-encourage natin sila na gamitin mo yung portal kahit nasa bahay ka, gamitin mo yung portal. Makapag-re-request ka din naman ng update ng record mo even if you're at the comfort of your own homes, in your own homes, diba? So, yun siguro yung masasabi ko, in relation to the fee.
Alright, thank you very much, Ma'am April Ann. And lastly po, Though kanina po napakita na po ni Ma'am April yung VaxCert support at doh.gov.ph na email at yung hotline po nila where the LGUs can call at dial 5 para po mabigyan sila ng priority. Ma'am, can we give an instruction po sa ating mga LGUs kung meron pong nakikinig? If ever they need technical assistance, paano po sila mag-reach out sa DICT so that they could invite you for an in-depth discussion if there are some more concerns that they wanted to discuss with your office po?
Okay. Yung main contact center yung contact center natin will be able to handle those, will be able to receive yung queries po coming from the LGUs. And then the contact center will be, para isa lang po yung point of contact po ng ating LGUs, no? And then the contact center, where necessary, will have to cascade to us na, okay, si LGU ganito, nagka-experience ng ganitong issue, for example, or meron silang kailangan i-clarify, ganyan. So they can contact yung contact center. Habang hindi pa po tayo hindi pa po tayo nagro-roll out, you can also contact yung respective na coordinators po. Kung kunyari training related, tapos hindi pa tayo nakakapag-training, you can contact yung coordinators po na in charge sa training. I believe meron pong naka-assign per LGU, no? So, that's for training related. Pero kapag operationalized na po, naka-roll out na tayo lahat, tapos may technical support na kailangan, or any issue na gusto nyong erase, please do leverage from our contact center for VaxCertPH.
Alright. At since nabanggit niyo po, ma'am, yung rollout natin, nagtatanong lang po, do we have already a parang target timeline on when the rollout will be conducted all throughout the country?
Yeah. Yung target po for this, for the attendees na yung LGUs and regions na nandito ngayon, no, we are targeting po 24. Dapat rolled out na po. But please do note na yung readiness po, yung LGU readiness is really important. So may I take this opportunity to remind and to emphasize, no, na meron pong may yung mga DILG field officers po are helping us monitor yung readiness ng bawat LGU. Kung ma-recall nyo po yung pinakita namin kanina na table sa presentation, wherein meron dong percentage kung ilang percent compliant na yung particular region na yon, or yung, particular, region na yon in terms of readiness. I would like to inform everyone na by Monday, may I request na i-update po natin yung Google Sheet na shinare po sa inyo ng DILG Focals. I-update nyo po doon yung inyong readiness. Kasi ipe-present po namin yun sa Monday para makita natin na yung 24th of September ba is doable for the rollout po sa inyong respective LGUs. And we are, yun po siguro yung masasabi ko, ma'am, regarding dun sa rollout. So we are targeting 24 for the rollout. Please make sure that your respective LGUs are ready. And we will be able to monitor that through the use of that Google Sheet na dinisseminate po ng ating DILG field officers. And that will be presented on Monday. So please update that po.
Alright. Ma'am, pahabol po na tanong before we end the open forum, since ipapadala naman namin sa inyo mga collected na mga katanungan. Pahabol po, may funding support po ba ito for the LGUs from the national government?
Siguro po, I'll defer that question to maybe someone from DILG po, or yes, DILG or DICT.
Alright, so siguro po later on, baka may pwedeng sumagot from our central offices of DILG and DICT. But at this juncture, I would like to give the floor back to our host, Christian, for the remaining part of our program. Thank you po, Ma'am April Ann.
Thank you.
Okay po, thank you, Miss Ethel. And then thank you rin kay Miss April Ann, kay Sir Dave at kay Sir Dario for the discussion. And before we proceed nga po dun sa ating messages from our RDs, ay just a reminder lang po para sa mga humingi po ng recorded ditong videos. Ditong video ay meron po tayong sa DILG 4A na FB official page at saka po sa DILG R4A YouTube channel. Ayan po. And then to proceed, para po sa message po ng OIC Regional Director, DILG Region 3, RDJ Timbresa. Magandang tanghali po, RD.
Magandang tanghali at okay ba ang aking audio?
Okay naman po.
Okay. Thank you so much at ang aking taus-pusong pasasalamat kay Yusek Jonathan Malaya for leading us the way and providing us guidance. Ang aking pasasalamat din kay Director Ariel Iglesia for hosting this meeting. Sa ating ding pagbati ko rin sa ating RD, kay RD Trubela at RD Roldan. At sa lahat po ng nakadalo, ang pagbati ko po ng isang magandang araw sa ating lahat. This meeting is very relevant and timely for all of us as we are about to roll out this VaxCert Philippines. At we have learned a lot in this meeting, and what I can commit is our full support to this project in promoting this VaxCert Philippines and making it happen in the field. At kasama ng aking mga empleyado ng Region 3, binibigay po namin ang aming 100% support to this endeavor. Magandang araw po at maraming salamat.
Yan, salamat po, RD Timbresa. And now, for the message coming from DILG Region 7, in behalf of the DILG Regional Director Leocardo T. Tabola, may I call on DILG Cebu Provincial Director Joaden Lucero. Good morning po.
Hi, good morning. Am I clear? Christian, am I?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes po, ma'am.
Thank you. To our very active and supportive Undersecretary, USEC Jonathan Malaya, our RDs, our PDs, cluster heads, city and municipal local government operations officers who are here, our LGU, VaxCert, focal persons, and for the target regions and areas for this soft launch, our DICT partner, DILG4A, our gracious host for today's meeting, of course, ably headed by RD Ariel Iglesia, our partners and everyone here. Maayong buntag sa tanan from the province of Cebu. Mapagpalang umaga po sa ating lahat. I have the honor to give the message of our Regional Director, RD Leo Cadjo T. Trovella. First and foremost, I'd like to thank everyone for being here despite that it is a Saturday. Yet, USEC Malaya very much emphasized the importance of this undertaking as part of our international commitment, which, if not taken care of, would possibly backfire to our government, including our local government officials, which can also be traced to our respective local chief executive, our city and municipal mayors. We would like to thank also our DICT partner for leading this technology for all of us to use and for guiding us to go about navigating and employing this tool. They have been calling for our LGUs to participate in their training. So I hope our LGUs are able to take note of this so that in every training that the ICT will be calling, our LGUs are participating. Of course, we would like to thank our LGU representatives for attending today's activity because we believe that our LGUs are the most important player in this undertaking. Thank you for your questions and your active participation. The success of this activity or in this endeavor largely depends on your response and efforts to make it working on the ground. And finally, we would like to thank our fellow DILG field officers We will always be there for our local government units to provide the necessary technical assistance and probably check on the LGU readiness to the system. One important thing to remember in this undertaking is that the vaccination line list should have been submitted within 24 hours after vaccination. As agreed a while ago, or as discussed earlier, our target date for our rollout is on September 24. Thus, our LGU shall have to organize itself to respond to this expected deliverable, namely the workforce readiness, technical and operational readiness, and of course, the data readiness. I know we may say that this is another additional matter that we have to undertake aside from the COVID cases management or challenge on vaccination, and of course, the issue on balancing health and economic standing of our communities. Yet, we need to also take care of this with perseverance, patience, hope, and faith to our authorities, our government, our people, our stakeholders, and most importantly, to our Creator. We will all come out victorious from all these challenges. Again, thank you so much for attending today's meeting, and thank you for all our stakeholders who have made this activity possible. Maayong buntag sa tanan, pag-usab, be safe, and God bless always. Thank you.
Again, thank you po, PD Jordan Lucero, at saka po kay RD Trobela. Para naman po sa DILG 11 o yung Davao Region, ay tinatawagan ko po si RD Alex Roldan. Good morning. Magandang tanghali po, RD.
Question in behalf of Regional Director Alex Roldan of the Davao Region. Maybe we could ask City Director of Davao City, CCD Vicky Sorsena, to give the message po in behalf of RD Roldan.
Okay, maayong udto sa tanan. Di lang ko mag ano kay in behalf of RD Alex, so we in Davao City, especially in Davao City Region 11, we commit the full support to this program, the VaxCert Philippines. We will do our very best that this VaxCert be launched successfully this coming September 24, 2021. Pero dapat i-check muna namin yung LGU Readiness, yung sinabi ni Ma'am kanina. And then, of course, in coordination with the city government of Davao. And we have also the CITC here. And of course, the DICT. And thank you, Region 4, for hosting this activity. Again, thank you sa tanan nga nag-attend, and of course, my colleagues in the Department of the Interior and Local Government. Thank you, and we should always be stay safe and healthy. So, lalim ning atong giagyan karon na pandemic. So again, thank you and good noon to everyone.
Yan, magandang tanghali rin po, and maraming salamat din po at CD Vicky. At para naman po sa closing remark, may I call on our Regional Director 4A, Director Ariel O. Iglesia. Magandang tanghali po, RD.
Magandang tanghali, Chris. Maraming salamat, Christian, at isang magandang tanghali sa ating lahat. Lalo na sa ating Undersecretary, Yusek Malaya, sa ating partners from the ICT, and of course our fellow RDs, RDJ Timbresa of Region 3, RD Leo of Region 7, and RD Alex of Region 11, and of course our field officers and our participants for today's activity. Actually, we reached a highest number of 675. So marami pa naman tayo ngayon. It's still 522. And I am very I would like to thank everyone for attending this meeting, and as articulated by Yusek Malaya, this is part of our commitment to the World Health Organization of having these vaccination certificates. And during this meeting, our partners emphasized also the roles of the local government units in attaining our objective in having these vaccination certificates. And of course, the most important role that would be playing here is the role of the local government units in coming up with in having their LGUs ready and fulfilling our commitment with the World Health Organizations of having these vaccination certificates. And with that, I'm very positive that we attain the objective of this activity for today. And on behalf of Region 4A, I would like to thank everyone who actively participated in this activity. And also, on the part of the DILG, this is an additional, additional responsibility to the long list of activities and responsibilities that we're having. But I'm very positive that we can make it, especially in the rollout, and also in guiding the LGUs in fulfilling this commitment. So once again, on behalf of Region 4A, I would like to thank everyone for attending this meeting, and muli isang magandang tanghali at mag-ingat po tayong lahat.
Thank you po, RD Iglesia. And muli po ay katulad po ng sabi ni RD, tayo po ay mag-ingat lahat, at muli po nagpapasalamat po ang pamunuan ng DILG Region 4A sa lahat po ng ating attendees for today's activity. Maraming salamat po. Stay safe po para sa lahat.